Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Why does your child not want to go with you?
She coaches him.
You're a damn liar!
Where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
She says, Daddy gave me a boo-boo on my back.
No, he doesn't. You're the one that says on your back. You said he takes my son to a motel where they make child pornography.
He was taking him to the hotel.
Lie after lie after lie after lie. I want a restraining order on you.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. I can tell you straight up, the details of today's show are going to have you scratching your head, wondering who, if anyone, is telling the truth. Now, my guest, Angela, has a 2-year-old son with her ex-boyfriend, Getty, who she calls an unfit father. She wants his parental rights revoked. Now, according to Angela, Getty is a convicted felon with ties to a child porn scandal involving the FBI. Not only that, Angela adamantly claims Getty has physically abused and sexually molested their son. Now, I take this seriously. There are accusations flying both ways. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Some things are going to change. This child is not going to remain in this toxic environment. Now, this mom claims she will do everything in her power to protect her sweet little boy from his pedophile father. Take a look.
I'm very scared of my son's father, Getty. I don't know what he's capable of. Getty is a master manipulator. Getty's evil. He's a narcissist. He's a child abuser. In my eyes, he's a monster. He's hit me once in my face, and he's nearly killed me twice within the same week whilst I was pregnant with our son. Getty is a convicted felon. He's had multiple charges over the years of drugs, battery, vandalism, shoplifting. I mean, the list goes on. I believe Getty is abusing and molesting our son. When my son comes home from his father's house for the overnight visits, he's covered in bruises. And he says, my daddy gave me a boo-boo on my back and it hurts, Mommy. I looked at his back and I did a videotape with my son.
Where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
It looked as if he had a handprint on his back, and the lower part of his back was blue. He had 2 giant pink marks in the center of his lower back, which are the marks from Getty Springs. I kept our son away from his father for over 2.5 months after the physical abuse, and that's when our son started showing more of the signs of touching himself in an inappropriate manner. And when I asked him, who touches you like that, he says, my daddy. He showed me a sexual gesture that made me want to puke. Getty's got everybody fooled, and he's getting away with this. I want to keep our son away from this monster.
Okay, so he has everybody fooled, but he doesn't have you fooled.
No, not at all.
Your son has told you his father is abusing him, and now that he's sexually molesting him. How did he explain that to you? What did he say to you?
And he was touching himself in an inappropriate manner that I've never seen my son do before. And I just dropped to my knees and started crying. And I said, baby, who touches you like that? And he said, put his hands up like this, and his demeanor changed. He says, my daddy. I took a deep breath and I said, can you tell me how daddy touches you? And he went like this. And at that point, I knew what was going on. I knew in my heart of hearts, it was like, oh. And I wish he would say it was somebody else. I wish it wasn't happening, but I wish he would say it was anybody but his dad, because that's his father. You would trust him with his child.
It was June of 15 that you say that you believe that he was molesting your son.
Yes.
But you continued to allow him to visit his father. And you didn't withhold him from his father until August.
Correct.
So tell me why you allowed him to continue visitation with his father. If you had a good faith belief that his father was sexually molesting him, why did you go 60 days of continuing visitation before you withheld him from his father?
The Department of Children's and Families in Florida told me I didn't have enough evidence, and they had nothing to go on. And
you didn't have any more evidence in August when you withheld him for 2.5 months?
When I started seeing more behavior when he came home in August covered in bruises on his back, that's when I put everything together and I said, this has got to stop.
Well, Getty is here today with a briefcase full of documents he says prove that Angela is nothing more than a vindictive, jilted ex-lover who's obsessed with him and hell-bent on using their innocent son to make his life a living hell. Take a look.
All of Angela's accusations of abuse are total lies. I've never molested or physically abused my son. I believe Angela is completely still in love with me. That's the only way to explain her obsessive behavior. Angela's called the police on me about 40 times with false accusations. The police have been called to her house well over 214 times within a 5-year time span. I'm fed up with the accusations, the stalking, the harassing. The moment that anything doesn't go her way, she flips her script and then everything changes. She just turns into this devious person that's out for blood. Some of the scenarios that she comes up with are stuff right out of like a movie. They're so far-fetched, nothing is even close to being accurate, and I have the paperwork to prove it. Angela takes our parenting plan like a total joke. She recently kept my son away from me for over 2.5 months. Angela accused me of abusing my son. The day she got served with contempt papers is the day that she pressed charges on me for abusing my child. Using my son as a pawn, making him act like he hates me is ridiculous. Every time I go to pick up my son, I have a police escort for a witness. Angela plays up our son crying every single pickup and throws on this big theatrical performance. And as soon as he gets in the car with me, he stops crying.
Yeah, we're gonna have so much fun. Gang five.
I'm a great father. I'm probably one of the best fathers that I know. Angela should be grateful that I'm a great dad. I love my son. I'll never hurt him.
Okay, Getty, I'm glad you're here because she has straight up accused you of some very egregious things. She has said that she has good faith belief, evidence, and reports from your son that you are physically abusing him and that you are sexually molesting him. Are you doing either or both of those things?
In no way have I ever done anything to hurt my son in any way, ever. I've never touched him inappropriately. She knows this. She's just doing this just because this is the last thing that she can do. She's already accused me of every single thing else, and this is the only thing she has left.
What do you say about that?
I'm not sure why he would think that I would be trying to get back at him or why I'd be in love with him if I'm accusing him of such a heinous crime.
You've threatened to ruin me countless times in every way, shape, and form. You've told me that if I sign my rights over, this will all go away.
That's when you were stealing motorcycles.
That's when I was stealing
And selling
motorcycles,
drugs.
Angela. Seriously?
Yes.
Let me stop you. I mean, you're a criminal. You have a criminal past, correct?
I have a past, exactly what it is, a past.
You've been convicted of crimes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and as you say, that is in the past. The most recent of those is several years ago, and most of them are over 10 years ago.
I mean, I accept responsibility for my actions, and I've paid my dues for every one of those events.
Yeah, and
not all of those was I convicted of by close to any of all
right.
of those.
Well,
was charged.
but you don't deny that you had a
shaky past. Yes, I do.
I want to tell both of you here, if you're making this stuff up as a vendetta, you don't want to do that.
I'm not.
And if you're being inappropriate with this child, you're looking at your worst nightmare, because there is no level I won't go to stop that from happening. You need to understand that. And I know how this system works. And if you're being inappropriate with that child, that's going to stop. So We just need to understand what's going on here. Angela accuses her ex, Getty, of not only physically abusing their 2-year-old son, but molesting him and taking him to a hotel that was linked to child pornography. But is any of this true? I intend to find out. We'll be right back.
Getty worked at a hotel called the Desert Inn in Daytona Beach that was busted for child pornography and child abuse. He worked there for 8 years. He's seen everything go on from A to Z in that hotel.
And later, you had a video of your son demonstrating how he was being touched.
Yes, I did.
Where is the video?
The police department have it.
Well, where's your copy of it?
It's child pornography. I can't have it, weirdo.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. A son with multiple personalities.
We've dealt with 14.
He turns into Felix the cat.
I love to play peekaboo.
Adam is the scary one.
Something takes over and I flip out.
Her family disagrees.
I think Dylan is faking it.
There's no way this is fake.
I've never seen it.
But you don't live with us. I just need one person to believe in me.
All new Dr. Phil. That's tomorrow.
Desert Inn is a hotel in Daytona Beach, which was busted for child pornography and sexual acts. Getty was the head maintenance man at that hotel. Getty was groomed by Dennis Devlin. He testified on this man's behalf. This man went from 45 years in prison to 15 years in prison. Now, these are the type of people that are around my child.
Angela says that FBI raid is exactly why she is terrified to leave her young son with Getty, who used to work at the Desert Inn. Getty says there's absolutely no truth to her abuse allegations, and Angela is making it all up to gain full custody of their child.
Getty knows the only way he could hurt me is to hurt our son. Getty is abusing and molesting our son. When my son comes home from his father's house for the overnight visit, he's covered in bruises. I immediately made a video of our son.
Where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
Right there.
Where?
Right there.
On your back?
Yeah.
Angela is coaching my son to say bad things about me and putting a negative image of me inside of his head.
I'm not coaching our son. One time, my son was touching himself in a very inappropriate way that children wouldn't know how to do unless they were shown how to do or it was done to them. I said, baby, who touches you like that? This is my daddy.
I think that that's complete. I don't think that that ever happened. I think that that's all just a figment of her imagination.
I know there's sexual abuse that goes on. My son kisses my nieces with his tongue. I've confronted Getty. I said, you're a pedophile. I know what you did to our little boy. You are sick. His response was cold and calculated. No one will ever believe you. You have no proof.
Angela has repeatedly said that if I sign over my rights, that this will all go away. She's lying just to try to get to me. These allegations are beyond crossing the line.
I wrote down a quote here. Getty took my son to the hotel.
Yes.
Your son was born on what day?
May 1st, 2013.
And that hotel closed in July of 11.
Just another lie. It was closed.
But
Now,
this
wait
these
a
are
minute.
things that you're
The hotel
telling me.
closed 2 years
Oh, you caught another lie.
before
It was-
the hotel closed 2 years before your son was born. And everybody involved is already gone to trial, sentenced, and in prison before your son is even born.
These are the things that he would tell me.
Not what he told you, what you
Right, I
told
did
me.
tell you that. I did.
It's just another one
They
of the
could still
millions
go
of
to the
facts I
pool.
have
If you were to
in
walk up the back of the hotel, you could still go in.
So you're telling me Getty was telling you, I'm going to take our son to a child pornography hotel.
A closed hotel.
And
let
you
me
said,
have him.
okay, have a good time.
No, he would say he's taking him to the hotel and they're going to go swimming.
That's not what you told me. You didn't say he's taking him to a pool where 2 years ago they used to make child pornography. You said he's taking him to
The hotel.
the hotel where they do child pornography.
Correct. And he was taking him to the hotel, but there's the pool there.
Are you trying to tell me that you did not intentionally make a material misrepresentation to me and my staff
No.
by telling us the father of this child was taking your son to a child pornography hotel?
No, I did not make that up.
Do you think that it was a material exclusion to not say, and oh, by the way, that's what they used to do there. They don't do that anymore because it's shut down and everybody's in jail.
Right. I should have said that, but I didn't. I knew it was closed down, but you were still in contact with, I can't say her name.
Had nothing to do with the investigation.
It does. It's a big factor because when our little boy says that she touches his butt and that she's bad.
Our son can barely.
Okay, wait.
Don't discredit him.
No, wait a minute. You're now saying that someone else is molesting your son. Because you said earlier, and we've asked you clearly who you believed was molesting your son,
Sexually
and you
abusing.
said it was him.
My son has said his father touches him and also told me a lady.
Well, this is the first you've ever said about that.
I've told the producers about this. I let them know about her.
Okay. So now it's him and another woman.
Yes.
They're both doing this.
I don't know if they're both doing this. This is what my son has told me.
And tell me how that conversation went.
He says, touch my butt, Mommy. And I said, baby, who touches your butt? And he says, his demeanor changed. He says, my daddy. And I said, who else touches you? Does anybody else touch you? And at that point, I didn't want to push the envelope. I let him go to sleep. I didn't want to bother him anymore because it's hard to go through with him. He's too young to keep asking him questions.
Did you mention this person in a police report?
Yes, I did.
And was that investigated?
It's still an open investigation right now.
You're so far-fetched with this, man.
That's your opinion.
You're not going to stop at anything. You know,
Okay.
I have to do what makes our son safe, and you are very dangerous with him.
And later, did you say that you wish you had aborted this baby?
I did.
You would take away our child? Do you hear all that
If I knew I was having a baby with a monster like you, you're damn right I'd take it back over and over again.
So let's take a look at the police report concerning the child abuse that was filed on November 7th of 2015. There was a well-being check. Dispatch received a call from Angela asking for a well-being check to be conducted on her 2-year-old son who is staying with his father, Getty. Angela advised to dispatch that she suspects sexually abusing, but did not provide any other details as to why she suspects this. There are no signs of any trauma to his body. There is no evidence that the son is being or ever has been abused.
Ever.
So you asked for the well-being check. Dispatch sent people out. There was the investigation done, and they found no signs of anything at the time, and no signs that would indicate any history.
No signs
of that taking place.
He was, I guess, not friends. I can't say friends, but he's known the officer that went out there for a very long time. DCF, I guess, come out to Getty's home that Sunday, supposedly checked. They said everything was fine, too. But when I picked our son up from him that Sunday night, he was covered in blisters from head to toe, which was hands, foot, and mouth virus. He had it so bad, he had blisters in his mouth, down his throat, on his back, his fingers, his toes. It hurt him so bad. So with the police saying that there was nothing wrong with him when they checked them, they're lying.
What about DCF the next day?
And you let DCF argue with their own forensic doctor, okay?
You're so far-fetched with this, man.
That's your opinion.
You're not going to stop at anything. You know,
I have to do what makes our son safe, and you are very dangerous with him.
How do you keep track of all this?
You said that your son, that you had a video of your son demonstrating to you how he was being touched.
Yes, I did.
Right? Where is the video?
The police department have it, and it's got an FBI label on it.
Well, where's your copy of it?
It's child pornography. I can't have it, weirdo.
Well, we've asked you about it, and you said 3 different things. One, at one point you said the police erased it from your phone.
Yeah, they had to wipe it off my phone.
And then at one point you said they had it with an FBI sticker on it.
Yes, it's got an FBI label on it.
And then you said you erased it.
Well, they had to erase it. I wasn't able to erase it. I've been so stressed out, but they have it at the police department. The state attorney's office knows they have it.
But you said the police erased it from your phone.
Yeah, they had to make a copy on their computer, and then they had to wipe it from my phone completely because it's child pornography.
But it doesn't exist.
It does exist.
But you don't have it, and the police can't find it.
They do have
it. It's coincidental.
My attorney knows they have it, and so does the state attorney's office. My little boy was taking a nap, and I went to check on him from his nap, and he was awake from his nap, and he had his diaper off, and he was touching himself back and forth.
You tell him no. Well, it's a baby. Really?
And why is he saying
you tell
it's
him
you?
No. Really? Oh, my God. This is so bad.
Is what I did, because nobody's believing me, Dr. Phil, and he's making everybody think I'm going nuts. Is my little boy doing this to himself? So when his legs are in the air and he's touching himself, I grab my phone. I always have it on me, and I videotaped it. And I called my attorney immediately, and I told him, and he instructed me to turn my phone off, hush. He told me to put it in a manila envelope and write on it, attorney-client confidentiality. I did that. I went straight to the police department. I let them know what happened. I made a report there. They didn't want to look at the video. They directed me to go to Daytona Beach Police Department to have them take it off my phone. And he took the video off my phone. He watched it with me. And I said, can you tell me one thing? And he says, what's that? I said, my son's father has everybody convinced that this is normal behavior and that I'm crazy. I said, can you please tell me that what's in this video is not normal? And he said, I assure you what's in this video is not normal. He says, how long has this been going on? And I said, my son's been doing this off and on for a little while now, and I just, at first thought maybe his butt was itching, okay?
Or the diaper rash.
You didn't tell us you had an attorney.
On a regular basis.
We would have loved to have talked to your attorney.
She doesn't have an attorney. I checked.
I do.
All right, we need to take a break. Getty brought us a briefcase that he claims will clear his name. We'll find out what's in it, and if it does when we come back. Closed captioning provided by...
The secret then? Baking soda. Now, the 2-in-1 cleaning power of Arm & Hammer plus OxiClean Power Packs. A powerful combination of baking soda plus OxiClean stain-fighting crystals for a whiter, brighter clean. And save up to 50%. Arm & Hammer Power Packs. Big clean, small price.
What's better than $5,000 a week for life? Wow. The Publishers Clearinghouse $5,000 a week forever prize. Win $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. Enter at PCH.com on February 26th to win forever.
I keep a briefcase of detailed evidence and records just to prove my innocence. This is a police report of the event. She suspects that Getty is sexually abusing, but did not provide any further details as to why she suspects this. Basically, she just said it just to say it with zero evidence to back her story. I have no choice but to have proof and documentation of everything that I do.
Well, Getty is so determined to clear his name that he slapped a label on the briefcase and just shipped it straight here. Huh? That's efficient.
Just a briefcase.
Yeah, that's efficient. Well, it got here.
Oh, yeah, it did.
We went through it. It has things like Angela's arrest records, her son's paternity test, DCF reports, court documents, Facebook posts, and police call logs indicating hundreds of calls to Angela's home.
I didn't live there for 10 years prior.
So you're in that environment now.
Right.
And there's between 2003 and 2011, there were 214 police calls to this house?
Not to my knowledge, because I didn't live there.
Well, yeah, there were. And between 2013 and 2015, there have been 39 more calls to this house. What do the police keep coming out there for?
The 39 calls, my brother had, he has severe autism. And he didn't want to take his medication. He was off his medication. So we had an altercation, and he was removed from the home. And he hasn't been back since. Now, the other calls out of the 39 are from when we were fighting over the custody.
We weren't fighting over custody. You were keeping him from me.
Because you're
contempt.
You're sexually abusing him, and that is why. But my question is, last year, you wrote the court 10 contempt of courts on me.
You owe me 2 days.
Can you just shut your mouth? Now, you told the courts I kept him from you last year. You wrote in 10 times. Now, see, I'm smart. I'm not dumb. I would ask you in the morning, can you please send me a picture of our son? And you did. With the time...
Which I'm not required to do, and I still did.
Just let me finish. With time and dates, I had the pictures. I brought them to the courts. They were all unfounded because you lied. Now, listen. This year, when I'm accusing you of sexually abusing...
2 days.
It took you 2.5 months to finally file a contempt of court on me. What did you have to hide?
for a lawyer.
You did not. Contempt of court is free.
Yeah, because you had a lawyer.
It's free.
Your family's
you
got
got him.
money.
You did this, okay? Why didn't you, the first week I kept him from you, why didn't you go and write a contempt of court on me then?
I did.
Not the first week. You took 2.5 months to wait.
Yeah, I can't get
What did you have to hide?
$1,500 that easily. You're about to pay my court costs. You're about to pay my court costs.
We'll see, won't we?
They're going to issue that. That's in our stipulation.
Wait till they see my records, honey.
Let's see it.
Wait till they bring them out. I gave them the whole garbage bag full of everything. You don't think I keep
keep it organized and neat like I do.
That's what you are, garbage.
You sure y'all aren't married?
Hell no.
What happened to your last marriage? What happened there?
I wanted to have an abortion.
I know
knew
you
who
did.
you were.
Our son showed signs of chemical dependency. DCF came to the recovery room and tested you. Did they not? He showed signs of chemical dependency.
Nothing was in our blood.
Do you or do you not get prescribed narcotics?
I do not.
Lie after lie, Angela. You have zero credibility in any of this.
We did do some investigation, and the hospital report says the mother took Loratab and smoked a lot of marijuana, about 2 joints per day during her pregnancy. The mother's OB was not aware of the mother's substance use. The baby was born on 5/1/2013, but was not tested for substance until 5/3/2013, after he started displaying severe withdrawal symptoms. Excessive sucking, high-pitched crying, sneezing, and fever of less than 100. CPI spoke with the father. Father stated he has no concerns and the child is well taken care of.
I went to the baby doctor the whole entire time. If I did drugs, the baby doctor would have reported it to DCF right away. Right away. They would have seen all of that.
Did you say that you wish you had aborted this baby?
I did.
Just a few days ago?
Yes. I love him to death, but if I knew that this was going to happen to him and he was going to be abused, yeah, I would take it back in a heartbeat, because no baby or no child or no mother should have to go through that ever.
That's our son you're talking about, Angela.
And that's the one that you
would
sexually abuse and physically abuse.
You would take away our child? Do you hear all that sound?
If I knew I was having a baby with a monster like you, you're damn right I'd take it back over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I've ever talked to a mother with a child that says,
the things that he does, I would take it back. I would take back that pregnancy, because it's so hard to watch him do the behavior that he does. And when he says it's his daddy that touches him, it's the most horrible thing in the world. And then I have to watch him go with him, and he's terrified to go with him. And then when he comes home, he touches himself. How am I supposed to feel?
I hear you crying, but I don't see any tears.
At all.
I'm
not
numb.
at all. It's an act. It's a total act, and you're not even that good.
Well, I'm ready for you.
Let's see some tears
to come out. I've been trying for 3 years.
Okay, why Getty says Angela is so obsessed with him that she stalks and constantly harasses him. We're going to find out why he's afraid of what she might do next. We're going to talk about that when we come back. And you know what? We did give him a polygraph test. We're going to look at it together. We'll do that.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I have somewhere near 20 different personalities.
There's Jeffrey, Alice.
He turns into Felix the cat.
It's not normal. He's sick.
That's tomorrow.
Angela is totally obsessed with me. I have proof that Angela is stalking me. She's told me what vehicles are in my driveway at 4 a.m. She has other people stalking my Facebook profile on a regular basis, my house. One time in particular, she sent me a picture of myself walking across the street. She was like, "Where are you going with that blonde bimbo in the Jeep?" It's just her way to try to make me think that she's always there.
Well, Getty says Angela is totally obsessed with him, and that's the only way to explain her erratic behavior. Angela says Getty is a monster who is molesting their 2-year-old son. Why does your child not want to go with you?
She coaches him. Like, I think that they're down-talking me on a regular basis. It's only when she's in the same room. As soon as I pick him up and walk away, he stops crying.
Angela gave us what she calls video evidence that her ex is abusing her son.
Where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
Right there.
Where?
Right there.
On your back?
Yes.
Baby,
Where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
Okay, now, I've got an issue with this a little bit, so let's just take a listen here. All right, let's listen to your question here.
Where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
Okay, so you brought this up, right?
Correct.
Okay, so, I mean, to me, and this isn't a courtroom, but to me, that's leading. I mean, where did Daddy give you a boo-boo? He says right there. Okay, when he says right there, he just says right there. He doesn't point to anything. He just says right there.
He's trying to point over his shoulder.
Well.
On your back?
Okay, no, you're the one that says on your back. And then he goes back to coloring or whatever he's doing, and then you ask him again.
Baby, where did Daddy give you a boo-boo?
Right there.
Did he do it?
Where was he pointing then?
Pointing over.
Really?
No, he's trying to point over his shoulder to his back.
So that's your video?
That's from the...
There was more audio to that.
Yeah, that's your video evidence.
When you have a child and they're being abused, or when you give birth to a child, does the hospital give you a handbook how to ask your questions to your son when he's being abused? He says, Daddy gave me a boo-boo on my back. It hurts, Mommy. I looked at his back. I dropped to my knees when I seen everything. I took as many pictures as I could. I tried to videotape him. He was upset. He did not want to talk about it. That's as much as I could get out of him on videotape. I contacted Getty and I asked him, where did the bruises come from? Hung up on me. That following morning, I took him straight to the Daytona Beach Police Department.
They didn't give you a manual, but they gave me one. Because, you know, I don't just play a doctor on TV.
You're a real doctor. That's why I came here.
You know, I've got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a PhD with emphasis in clinical psychology and behavioral medicine. And then I went back and did a postdoctoral fellowship in forensic psychology. That's psychology in the law.
Right.
And one of the things that I'm trying to do is evaluate parents.
Okay.
When you start having them point fingers and make allegations at one another, then you have to really start seeing, is this going to be at the expense of the child, or is there something to it? Is there meat on the bone? And when I see pictures, you know, I saw the pictures of these bruises on the child. I have to tell you, he looked in pretty good repair for a 2-year-old boy. But let me tell you, I believe it's a false positive system. Anytime there's an allegation of abuse or molestation, I believe it's true until I find out otherwise. But you know, you tell me he's taking him to a, you know, child pornography hotel, and I find out it's closed 2 years before your child was even born. You know, that causes me concern, things of that nature. You tell me that you've got a video of your son demonstrating what's happening to him, and then you say, I say, well, where is it? And I get 3 different answers at 3 different times. I'm concerned about that.
The police department do have that video.
Yeah, well, they can't find it. Doesn't mean they don't have it. Doesn't mean they don't have it. I mentioned earlier that Getty took a polygraph exam about the alleged abuse. Those results are coming up. We can't do this show without you, our studio audience.
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445. I brought in Jack Tremarco to be here and conduct the polygraph test. He's a former FBI special agent and polygraph examiner. If you watch the Dr. Phil show, you know Jack Tremarco. He's conducted over 3,500 tests in his career. In my opinion, he's the best in the business. And I want to ask you, before I even pick up this envelope, do you feel like you were treated fairly by Mr. Tremarco?
Definitely.
So you believe it was a fair test?
I believe so.
Okay. Jack, is there any reason that you would think that this was other than a fair and pure protocol?
No, it was a non-eventful polygraph test. There were no complications. Chart purity was what I expected, and it was a good test.
You've watched this show. You've seen Jack Tremarco on the show before.
Yeah.
So
that's why I wanted to come here.
Right, and you have confidence that whatever's going to be here.
110%.
There were two questions about the same thing. Question one, did you ever touch your son? And we have the name, but we're not saying it here. Did you ever touch your son for a sexual reason? And your response was?
No.
Question two, since he was born, did you ever touch your son for a sexual reason? And your answer was?
No.
And the results to both questions were non-deceptive, meaning that you were telling the truth when you answered this question.
Apologize. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Jack, was this a close call?
No, it was a good test, Dr. Phil. He was a +7. It would have needed a +2 or above in order to pass, so it wasn't close.
It wasn't even a close call.
Not even close, Angela.
No. So what do you have to say about this?
I'm sorry, but I still don't know why he's saying his dad's touching him. As
recently as 2 or 3 minutes ago, you were screaming at the top of the lungs. It was before you were sexually molesting him, because you sexually molested him. Right. You've taken him to a porn center. You've molested our son. You've dragged him on national television. You've called him a pedophile, a sexual molester.
Those are the only 2 questions that he was asked.
It's the only ones they need to ask. That's what we're here for.
Yes. We tested one pivotal concept asked 2 different ways, because that's to do a proper polygraph test. That's what you have to do if you truly want a pure protocol.
Then I would like you to help us figure out with our son.
Angela, I don't want nothing. I want a restraining order on you.
You figure that out. He's under control when he's with me. We have no issues when he's with me and his sister. There's no problem ever. He does not touch himself inappropriately. He is perfectly
So he does this behavior just in front of me.
Well, are Angela and Getty ready to resolve their issues and focus on what's best for their son? Doesn't exactly seem like they're spring-loaded for that, but I'll tell them what I think needs to happen when we come back. Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. I'm here with Angela and Getty. There were serious allegations about sexual molestation. I have to tell you, I don't believe that is being done by Getty. I think that there's a lot of unfinished emotional business between the two of you. The child clearly is paying for this angst between the two of you. It's living in a very toxic and emotionally charged environment. You need to come up with a co-parenting plan and a commitment to coexist. And if you are still venting frustration and upset towards one another, then you need to find some way to resolve that. Now, I'm happy to provide you with a co-parenting counselor that will help to work out a plan here. If that's the route you want to go, or you can work through an intermediary. But you're over here raising your hand like, I want to do that, and I do this, and I do that.
I just wanted to say something.
But, don't be a right fighter here. What you want to do is what's in the best interest of your child.
I paid thousands of dollars to have a parenting plan. I paid thousands of dollars to have a parenting plan set in place for this to happen, for us to have our own time to co-parent properly. This is what I want. I want to get along with this person, but accusation after accusation after accusation. This is, accusing somebody of molestation is the worst possible thing you could do to somebody, period. I came across the country to defend myself.
Okay, well, you've done that, and I'm glad you did, and I suspect you're glad you did. What can you do to be a hero for this child? And if this continues, I'm telling you, the system can get involved here and decide that neither of you is worthy to parent this child. You don't want that to happen. And you need to calm down and grow up. That's all I'm saying. I want to thank my guests today, and a very special thanks to you, Jack. I really appreciate you being here. We'll help you if you want it. Just let us know. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Glad this worked out. Thanks, Jack.
On an all-new Dr. Phil.
My wife and I are raising our granddaughter.
If you consider putting a child to bed and taking her to school, raising her, then okay.
Is she choosing her boyfriend?
You go live with him and leave your daughter there.
Over her daughter?
She needs to be a mother.
How am I stopping her from being a mother?
I give my child a bath, feed her sometimes.
In whose home?
If I did have my own home, I would be doing that myself.
But you don't. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Susie was living the American dream as a stay-at-home mom in a beautiful home with a big pool in a nice neighborhood with her successful husband. So why on earth would she have bruises all over her body and her husband Ray be getting into street fights? They say it's all because of daughter Adriana and her bad boyfriend Matt. Now, Mom Susie says ever since Adriana hooked up with Matt, she's been a drive-by mom to her little girl, leaving Susie and Ray to raise her. And she's in shock that her daughter would rather be with her riff-raff boyfriend than her precious child. Take a look.
My daughter has become violent, abusive, and neglectful. For the first 13 years, she was a model child. She was in sports. She had a lot of friends, very social kid. At 14, she started hanging out with a different group of friends. She started smoking pot. Then she got pregnant at 15. We were shocked. I did not want Adriana to have the baby. How can a 16-year-old take care of a baby? First 2 years of the baby's life, Adriana was a pretty good mom. She broke up with the biological father and eventually started dating this new guy, Matt. I don't care for Matt one bit. The first time I met him, he was high on drugs. I believe Matt is a bad influence and a non-motivator. Matt was around the first few times Adriana tried heroin. Adriana's now 20. She has chosen to live in Matt's parents' house. So right now, she's not a good mother. My husband and I are basically raising the child at this point.
I want to be Nana. I want to be Papa. I don't want to be Mom and Dad.
Every interaction I have with Adriana is explosive. I have to walk around on eggshells. If I say the wrong thing, it'll just set her off.
Mouthy and rude. I mean, rude.
In the last year, we have had 3 physical confrontations. She has hit me, scratched me. She's left bruises. She's very mentally abusive. I would like Adriana to stop being abusive to me. Start being appreciative. Look around you. If it hadn't been fresh, you would have been on the street. We never expected Adriana to end up with the riffraff that she's chosen on the other side of the tracks.
Well, Adriana says she refuses to allow her mother, Susie, to pressure her into choosing her daughter over her boyfriend, Matt.
I have chosen Matt over my daughter because my mom is always in the way.
How are you?
I take issue with how my mother is parenting my child. I believe that my mother's too lenient. She calls me a horrible mother, and I've called her an idiot, you're being stupid. It's gotten to the point where I actually have punched my mother. In the moment, she deserves it. I feel like I'm trying, and my mom doesn't see it. I'm picking her up from school. I'm trying to have her all day long. I'm trying, and that's all that matters. I did resent being a teenage mom. Being stuck inside with my daughter and being home alone all the time, I realized how depressed and unhappy I got. My parents treated Matt very unfairly. They have judged Matt based on not only his tattoos and his piercings, but his background with probation and his addiction. Matt was not responsible at all for getting me on heroin. I chose to do those things myself. Matt wants to be a father figure to my child. My parents better learn to like Matt because he's here for the long run.
You just don't think that you should be pressured into choosing your daughter over your boyfriend?
I feel that it's not fair that I have to make that decision to choose my family over the one I want to spend the rest of my life with.
You can't have your daughter where you're living with Matt all the time because there's just not room?
There's 6 people who live there. There's 3 dogs. There's 3 bedrooms, and there's nowhere, there's not an extra room, there's not an extra bed, and the only other place is a cot or the floor.
So you leave her with them, but then you don't really like the way she parents.
They do not like the things, how she tells me to parent. I feel like she's breathing down my neck constantly.
Well, she says you are vulgar and rude and actually become violent and attack her.
No, when she's attacking me with her harsh words, you're a horrible mother, you're a bitch, you're a whatever, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to take that. Of course I'm going to say something back to her.
But she is raising your daughter.
Yes, she is.
Are you grateful for that?
I am very grateful
for
that.
Do you tell her that?
I have.
Because I looked at some of the text messages that you sent to your mother just within the last few weeks. Mom, I was wondering if I could borrow $15. Matt is buying me a birthday gift at the mall, and he only has $75, and I believe the thing is $85 plus tax. Please, I would really appreciate it. It's for my birthday. Please. And then you then say, is that a yes or a no? So Susie says, well, the question then is, why buy something he can't afford when you have no job? You two need to start getting a dose of reality. You're so smart, but I'm so angry that you don't think more of yourself and see that down the road you can own a house, you can have a good life. I'm so tired of you making yourself out to be like you're going to be alone the rest of your life. You won't be if you give your life a chance. You respond, wow, really? Are you blanking kidding me? It's not for him for the last blanking time. What don't you get? It's for me. I need $10 freaking dollars. Why can't I borrow it? Are you blanking kidding me? $10. It's for me to buy something at the mall. I really would like it for my birthday. Susie, use your own money. Don't ask me again. I'm out and won't be home till 8:30. Wow, you're a blanking joke. It's for my blanking damn birthday, and you can't even loan me $10 freaking dollars. Wow. See, when you ask me for something next, I won't do blank.
When I ask my mom for things, it's always like she changes like my question around, and it's always about Matt.
Well, not always. You provided us another text message. Adriana, you need to call me as soon as possible. Adriana, hello? Adriana, you don't want to answer the phone, you blanking dumb blank. It's okay, I'm coming over right now. I'm just going to break every blanking window in your blanking house. Goodbye, you stupid blank. You will be seeing me real shortly. Susie, stop doing this. What's wrong with you? Adriana, are you blanking stupid? I didn't say I wasn't having her tomorrow, you blanking.
Excuse me, but
I
where
said
are the
I have
text
an
messages
appointment
from her?
in the morning. That is it. Then I could have her forever long after. I will be at your door in 2 minutes, and you better take her, and if you don't answer, I'll be breaking your front windows. You think I give a blank what you do? No. You better blanking answer your door. I'm blanking sick and tired of you. She wants to go to bed. Answer your blanking door.
Yeah.
Okay. This is your child.
You're right.
This is your responsibility. And you're talking to the woman that is raising your child. And you're calling her a dumb whore and open the door. I'm going to break the windows of your house.
If you consider putting a child to bed and taking her to school, raising her, then okay.
But she doesn't have to do even that.
Absolutely right, she doesn't.
Well, she did respond. She said, wow, do you realize what a true bully you are? I have been helping you with your daughter for 4 years now, and you give absolutely nothing but blank to me.
You guys are only seeing the text messages.
Unreal if it hadn't been for us.
She's being nice. She sends me text messages of how I'm a stupid bitch, I'm a dumb, I'm such a whore, I'm such all of these things.
We ask you time and time again to give us those text messages.
I don't have the text messages. If I don't have that phone anymore, I'm not going to be able to provide.
But you're saying we're only showing these. We ask you for those, and you didn't provide.
So am I supposed to call the phone company and say, hey...
Don't criticize me for not showing what you didn't give me.
You're right, I'm not criticizing you. I'm saying I can't get messages from months ago.
Okay, what'd you want to say?
I'm tired. I need her to step back up to being a mom. I mean, she disappeared. And you want us to take on that role when you said this
is, you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we're going to meet Adriana's stepdad, Ray, who talks about the day he met boyfriend Matt for the first time. Well, let's just say that didn't go well. We'll be right back.
I believe Matt is a loser. He has no ambition. The first time I met Matt, we had a confrontation. I punched him in the face.
And later...
What you need to do is give her a chance to be a mother.
That is her choice. I've never stopped her from that. Not once, ever.
Okay, but she was never abusive before she started a relationship with you.
I'm sorry.
Tomorrow, on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I believe God has anointed me as a prophet.
God told you to marry someone named Jeff, so you go stalk 4 Jeffs.
There were 2.
Is her spiritual life?
You prayed over a chicken that was flat as a Frisbee. If you're out in the brain praying over roadkill, you need a reality check.
Hurting her home life.
You don't worry about your family.
Stop trying to take my kids. Fix your own life and leave me alone.
That's tomorrow.
Adriana's violent. It's like another person. Her strength is amazing. The last confrontation we had, I was afraid of her. And she's only soaking wet, about 100 pounds. I'm angry. She was told at 16 she was going to be the mother. I would never put my children off on somebody else. And she just thinks that it's normal.
Susie says she is at the end of her rope trying to raise her granddaughter without her daughter, Adriana's help. Now, Susie's husband, Ray, blames Adriana's boyfriend, Matt, for making Adriana choose him over her little girl.
I came in Adriana's life when she was 6 years old. We've raised Adriana in a loving, caring home. When she met Matt, she stopped taking responsibility as a mother. My wife, Susie, and I are raising our granddaughter. I believe Matt is a loser. He has no ambition. People with zero ambition, I don't like. They want to sit around and sponge off of their parents all the time. The first time I met Matt, we had a confrontation. I look over and I see Matt in the car. Matt's just sitting there kind of laughing and giggling. And I'm just looking at this guy just thinking, here is the guy that's solely responsible for swinging her over to this dark place. So I run over there and I punch him in the face while he's sitting in the car. So he gets out of the car and he says, oh, you want some of me? And he literally looks and acts like a child. He's 6'2", tattoos all over. I almost started laughing. His pants were falling off. He just had an appearance of a 15-year-old. You can't reason with a 15-year-old. I think Adriana's situation right now is very volatile and has to change. Everything with her is a drama on the scale of 10. The only thing I can see Adriana coming out of this is getting away from Matt.
I think it's a little ironic that you describe him as acting like a child, but you ran over to the car and punched him through the window. Not the best way to engage in a conversation.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It's your understanding he got her started on heroin?
Yes.
No, that's not right.
But nonetheless, you got involved in heroin.
Yes.
And you... At this point, is your relationship with Matt serious?
Yes, I've been together with Matt for 2 years, and I love Matt. I would like to see myself together with him forever.
Do you think he loves you?
Yes, I feel like he does.
And your point is, if he had a value system, if he cared about her at all, he wouldn't be coming between her and her daughter.
Yes, exactly. He says, give me a chance. A chance. He needs to give Adriana a chance to be a mother. She needs to put her daughter to bed at night and feed her and wake up in the morning and see her mom. You know what your child did the other night? She comes into my office, grabs a picture of you out of my office, takes it to her bed. Puts it on there and says, I want to see my mom in the morning at night.
I wish I could have my daughter at nighttime. I do.
If Matt cared about you so much, he would let you be a mother to your child, and he would try to embrace that a little more if he had any family values at all. He must have family values. He's, what, 22, 24, still living at home with his mom, hasn't had a job, so there's some family there.
He's 22.
22.
One 22-year-old isn't still living at home or going to school or doing stuff. I'm pretty sure most 22-year-olds, unless you're out of college or doing whatever great on your own, good for you. You may have a job and be doing great. But a lot of 22-year-olds who aren't doing great and don't have jobs I'm pretty sure they're still at home with their parents. And I am trying. I am trying.
You say you're trying. You have a choice, a clear choice in front of you.
You're right, I have
and
a
you
choice.
have a beautiful home where your daughter is.
I'm not going to have confrontation in front of my child.
Wait a minute.
That is wrong. And any
But you do
parent
it all the
who has
time.
confrontation in front of their child, Good for you, but that's wrong. You do
Okay, wait a minute. So you're just not going to do something that's wrong for your daughter?
I'm not going to have confrontation in front of my child.
Okay, so you think that it's better for you to just leave your daughter to be raised by other people and go live with your boyfriend and leave your daughter there?
Every single day. The only time I don't have my child is when she goes to bed at night.
Why is it their responsibility to raise your daughter?
It's not their responsibility. It's mine.
Then why do you have the expectation for them to do it? You expect for them to do it and then give them absolutely unshirted hell for the way they're doing it.
I don't expect anything.
Open the door or I'm going to throw rocks through your windows, you dumb whore. That was the message. That's not an expectation?
Oops.
How is that not an expectation?
Because it's
Open the door, I'm going to break your windows out if you don't open the door.
I'm not going to stand at somebody's front door pounding on the door when my child has to go to bed. And she's inside, not going to answer the door.
So that's an expectation for her to perform. You have an entitled expectation that she is going to open that door, take your child in, put her to bed, and be responsible for her through the night.
No, I'm sorry, but she doesn't always put my child to bed. I come there, too, and I put my child to bed as well. I come there to her home, and I give my child a bath and feed her sometimes and put her to bed.
In whose home?
Her home. Yes, okay, it's her home. But I don't have my own home. So if I did have my own home, of course, I would be doing that myself.
But you don't.
I don't.
What makes you think she and Ray are required to provide that for you?
Okay.
But no, not okay. You have an entitled attitude that says, you're going to do what I want you to do, and if you don't, I'm going to make your life so hell, you are going to cave in and do it, and I'm holding my daughter hostage because you know as well as I do that if you don't, she winds up on the street or in foster care, and that's on you, bitch. That's exactly what your attitude is. So coming up, Adriana's boyfriend, Matt, is here. The young man who Susie says is the cause of all this chaos. We'll meet him next.
I believe her parents think I'm a bad influence. I don't think I am. I've stopped stealing. I've gotten clean. I plan on staying with Adriana, and hopefully Ray and Susie can jump on board and go along with it.
Susie is heartsick and frustrated with her daughter, Adriana, for choosing her boyfriend, Matt, over her 4-year-old child. Adriana says her mom has never given her boyfriend a chance. Matt says Susie labeled him a dirtbag the day she met him, but he says he is a changed man.
I love Adriana to death, and I believe she loves me just as much as I love her. Adriana's daughter, she's a great kid, and I treat her like my own child. We are living right here in my parents' house. There are 7 people living in this house, including 3 dogs, and Adriana's daughter. It's only a 3-bedroom house. It gets very crowded.
This is where me and my daughter sleep when we come over to Matt's house. She stays at her Nana's Monday through Friday, and only on weekends she may spend the night.
I believe her parents think I'm a bad influence. I don't think I am. Susie and Ray basically didn't like me because of my criminal past, and then they found out about the heroin, and that even pushed it even farther. But I've tried to improve myself. I've stopped stealing. I've gotten clean. Adriana kind of exhibits anger towards me when we get in fights about things, but it's not really as severe as it is with her mom. I plan on staying with Adriana, and hopefully Ray and Susie can jump on board and go along with it.
All right, Matt, I appreciate you being here. You think you're not getting a fair shake?
Yeah, I don't. I don't think I'm getting a fair shake at all.
Why not?
Because since the beginning, they never even tried to talk to me at all. It just was bad from the very beginning. All because of my past and my drug use.
Right. Do you have a job?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Just because my tattoos, my felonies, it's real hard. I looked a couple of places, but no one really wants to hire someone like me.
You said you've looked a couple of places. What else do you have to do but look for a job?
I guess nothing really.
My belief is this. I think the two of you seem to have a different attitude than it takes to overcome the obstacles that are in front of you. And I'm not judging your past. I think everybody can hit the reset button. Everybody gets a second chance. Everybody gets to start over. I get that. But you got obstacles in front of you. For example, my attitude is if you don't have a job, then your job is finding a job. And if you had a job, you'd work 50 hours a week probably, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you don't have a job, you ought to work at least as hard looking for a job as you would work as if you had a job, which means if you would work 50 hours a week on the job, then you ought to work at least 50 hours a week looking for a job. I mean, how long has it been since you've had a job?
Well, about a year now, 2 years about.
Okay, so 2 years.
Yeah. Well, because of the entire past 2 years, I've been trying to bust my ass, like with my probation, trying to get off probation. I've been on probation since I was 18 for the past 4 years, and so it was really hard for me to get the job at first. And I understand that I wasn't doing enough, and I could have done more. But that was really a really big reason for
people
me not
work
getting
that
a
out
job.
all the time, and they're saying, here you are, you don't have a job, you're living at home. And now you got her living with you at home. What do you think about her leaving her daughter behind to come live with you?
Well, I've never liked the fact that she wasn't with her daughter. I mean, like, I always wanted her to be with her daughter. I would love for her to live with me as well, but it's my parents' house. It's not my house. And I mean, even in the beginning, she shouldn't have even been living with me either, but I kind of just
have you ever thought about saying, hey, listen, I really love you, and I want to support your role as a mother, and your place is to be with your daughter, and you need to be over there with her, and I'll see you when I'll see you when I can, but you need to be with your daughter?
Yeah, I've said that plenty of times, and I've told her, you need to move back home with your family. You need to be with your daughter. And she's tried a couple different times, but they keep telling her, no, you can't come back into the house.
Mm-hmm. And there's reason for that.
The reason is because she comes home, wakes up at midnight, 1, not sure, and leaves. And then we get up in the morning getting ready to go do our thing, and Adriana's gone.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
Matt, it's not that we didn't like you from the start. What happened from the start is what we didn't like. As soon as she met you, her daughter is over here. What you need to do is give her a chance to be a mother. You need to give her a chance to be...
I never stopped her. I've never... How am I stopping her from being a mother? I never stopped her.
Leaving in the middle of the night.
I have always told her to be with your daughter. Always. I told her she needs to be with her daughter and not be with me.
She was never abusive.
But that's not my choice. That is her choice. I've never stopped her from that. Not once ever.
Okay, but she was never abusive before she started a relationship with you.
I'm sorry.
Hell no.
Swinging at my boyfriend?
You guys have been fighting way before I've been in this
I'm gonna
picture.
get in the way. When you're
never
coming
physically violent, Matt.
Really?
Never
When you come out to the car,
I'm pretty sure when you come at me, screaming at me up in my face, she's going to protect me because I'm not going to touch her.
But I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is my daughter's behavior was never erratic like this before
you're absolutely right. I got so mad, and I've been continuing to get madder and madder because you get so mad and heated, running out yelling for no reason at hand when we're talking, having conversation.
Coming up, Matt's mom wants to tell Susie that she is not the only mother who is burdened with taking in someone else's child. We're going to meet her after the break.
Matt has no motivation. He doesn't have any drive. I think he gets off on the fact that my daughter is so violent and abusive towards me. She was never like this before. I believe Matt's behind the scenes egging it on.
Susie and Ray love their 4-year-old granddaughter, but don't feel that it's their job to raise her. And let me tell you, there are 2.7 million grandparents in America today raising their grandchildren as primary caregivers. Now, that's about 10% of the children in America are being raised by grandparents. And when you dig in and look, you got entitled parents that have these kids, and then they dump them on the grandparents. Adriana spends most of her time at her boyfriend Matt's house, neglecting her parenting duties according to her mother and her stepdad. But Matt's mom, Glennis, says Susie needs to stop blaming her son for her family's problems. Now, Glennis, thank you for being here. You're saying that you inherited these problems. You didn't create them.
Absolutely.
And what do you mean by that?
What I mean is that whatever dynamics they had going on ahead of time, which causes them to speak to each other the way that they do, was present before they started dating.
No, it was not.
Never.
And I asked you, Glennis,
never.
a year and a half ago when my daughter just welcomely moved into your home to please kick her out.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
no,
I
you did
did.
not,
She
Glennis.
didn't
She's still living there
She's
now?
still living there, and you told
I know
me
that.
she's 18. That she's 18. She can make those decisions. I said, this is your house.
Stay on the streets when you guys won't let her move back to the house.
I'm not going to let someone live in my house that wants to kick the crap out of me.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we kicked her out.
When you come,
Because you come at
when you come at my boyfriend,
You come at
with
me
you
that way.
swinging your hands. What do you think
go to
I'm
hit him.
Really?
You are. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie.
Yeah.
You have come
You
at me
have
like
come
that.
at
Dr. Phil,
him.
this is getting
And of course I'm going to
You know, this-
get
You
in
have come at
between
me like
that.
that.
I'm
All
not
I know is I asked you to kick my daughter out. You chose not to.
And she did tell me to go
Glennis?
home. She did.
All right,
What
hold on.
happened,
Glennis?
Susie. You weren't in my house. You weren't a part
She's
of the
still living in your
conversation.
house, Glennis.
That's true. That
Glennis?
is true.
Okay.
But now I have a text message from you telling me that you kicked her out. What am I supposed to do?
And she knows why I
When
kicked
you
her out.
I've asked her to move
blowing
home
her up.
time and
Glennis?
time again.
Okay.
Glennis,
Sorry, doctor.
do you want her living in your home?
No.
And why not?
Because I feel like as if Matthew can move forward and do the things he needs to do if he's not distracted with this relationship. I also feel like Adriana will be able to do the same thing if she's not distracted with this relationship.
Are you aware she pops in your house in the middle of the night at 1 in the morning?
Hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. You just said, Dr. Phil, this isn't getting us anywhere. So I got it under control and started asking some questions, and then you interrupted me and started chaos.
Sorry, Dr.
So zip it. Just hang on a second. You don't want her there.
No. I think that she needs to move back home and be a parent to her daughter. I feel like that whatever is going on, I would love to see the relationship get healed because I think that it's unhealthy as it is right now. I don't know who started. I don't know when it started, Susie, and I'm sorry if I assumed that it was pre-existing. It just seems that way to me because it seems like it's been prevalent from the moment that they started dating. It was there.
That's because
so I assume.
right.
But that has nothing. That doesn't have to do with us.
No, it doesn't, because she chose to use heroin. But he hasn't helped the situation.
But he hasn't prevented it. He stood up and said she needs to go home and she needs to be a part of this. Now, your daughter's an adult and has made choices, and that was part of the conversation that you and I had.
Right.
But Dr. Phil, to get back to what we were saying, I think that they both need to go forward and do things, and they're distracted with each other. And I think also that the dynamics that she has with her mom when they don't get along is part of it takes place between them when they don't get along, and it's not healthy. The way you two get a fight is the way they disagree and fight. And I've said it over and over again to her that that there has to be something better. You have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to do these things. And I am over having this in my home. As you want peace, so do I.
Fair enough, yeah.
I think the chance of these two being in each other's life long term is about zero. I mean, it's not Mr. Right, he's just Mr. Right now.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I believe God has anointed me as a prophet.
Julie claims she has raised a frog from the dead.
If you're out in the rain praying over roadkill, you need a reality check.
That's tomorrow.
It seems to me that you three adults want to get up on your hind legs and start barking at each other, but if you listen for just even a minute, the three of y'all want the same things. Yes. And you may be a little territorial about your own child and, you know, who started what with which with when. But frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. I'm just interested in what happens going forward for this 4-year-old. Despite what y'all may think, I do not believe that this young man is irredeemable. I think with some guidance and some focus, he can get some traction in his life and he can move forward. I think the chance of these two being in each other's life long term is somewhere around zero, just because at the age they are and the circumstances they're in, the chance that just happens to be their lifelong soulmate statistically is about zero. I mean, come on, they're kids. They have a lot going on in their life. He's not Mr. Right. He's just Mr. Right now. And, you know, she's just here. They're too young to be making those choices. So it's not going to happen. But what is happening right now is some really bad exposures to this 4-year-old in a lot of different ways. Adriana says her mom doesn't know the extent of her recovery process from heroin, for example. Take a look at this. You need to see this.
My mom does not know I'm using methadone. She knows I'm getting counseling from the clinic. She comes with us to our counseling sessions sometimes. I basically lied to my mom to get her off of my back.
Okay, so are both of y'all...
Yeah, both of us are in the methadone-assisted treatment program, yeah.
And you're smoking marijuana?
Yeah,
marijuana.
Yeah, I have my medical card, yes.
Well, having a card in your pocket doesn't change what it does to your brain. What's the clinic think about you bringing that 4-year-old in there?
They have
an area for
kids
with a TV and a couch and everything like that. They have counseling and they have counselors, a security guard there and everything. It's a really nice place. It works for me, honestly. I haven't used, I don't think about using, and it works for me.
It may work for some people, it may not.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people it doesn't work for.
Hey, we've been clean for almost a year.
Yeah.
It's worked for us, okay?
And I don't think about using, and and it helps. It works for me.
It may not work for some people.
It's assisted with counseling, so the counselors really try, and they really are helping us.
As for my mom feels like it's just another drug.
There's something else that Adriana and Matt claim is out of reach at Matt's house. I'm not so sure that it is, but we're going to talk about that and what needs to happen on both sides of this equation when we come back.
I do smoke weed. We have our pipes and everything up high. My parents would not be happy about this at all.
We can't do this show without you, our studio audience.
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL.
I do smoke weed. I have a medical marijuana card. My parents would not be happy about this at all. I know how it relaxes me. I know that it helps me. We don't smoke around my daughter. Have our pipes and everything up high or in the garage so she can't reach or is anywhere near it. I do not consider marijuana as a drug. My mother disagrees.
Look, what do you want to see happen here? What do you guys want to see happen here?
I'd like my daughter to be drug-free. I didn't know if she was bipolar or still using drugs. As a parent, she's still using drugs. I would like her to step up and be a mom.
The only way I think that this can happen is if she moves back in and is a mother to her child. But I do not believe that she can do that in this relationship on methadone and pot.
And what do you want to see happen?
I want to see my relationship fixed with my mom, obviously. I don't know how to fix my relationship with my mom. I just don't know how to act. Really, I don't know how, when I freak out, to calm myself. I want to tell them, like, I'm trying, and they just don't feel like I am trying. But I am. I really am trying.
This is not an Adriana problem. This is a family dynamic problem. Parenting is not an easy job. It involves a lot of sacrifice. It involves a whole lot of saying no to yourself and yes to your child. It involves a whole lot of having to get into a rhythm and a routine and finding your joy and pleasure in watching this child blossom and grow and seeing all of those things that will be gone in a flash. And you're missing too much of that.
What I don't understand is I'm with my daughter Monday through Friday from 11 when she gets out of school till when I bring her home when it's time to go almost to bed. And what I don't understand is how much more time can I really get on the weekends? What more can I do?
You can take care of your child. If she wants to continue to be entitled and defiant, then you have to have an absolute 100% no contact. It's just that simple.
How do you do that, though, when you have a child?
You're either going to do what you have to do to get this turned around, or you're not. She attacked you on Easter. She attacked you on Christmas.
It's not like I'm the only one who attacks her. She comes at me too. She slaps me across the face. She pulls my hair.
And that's not going to happen to you
I'm
anymore.
not the only one who starts these fights.
That's right, and that's not going to happen anymore.
And she thinks I'm the only one who punches her.
But that's not going to happen anymore. It won't happen anymore if you're not in contact. And you have to be willing to make that commitment, because you have to understand that you are the one responsible for this child, and anything that anybody else does is a gift. It's a gift. It's not a requirement. It's a gift. Closed captioning provided by...
Make cold sore symptoms a thing of the past with Carmex Cold Sore Treatment, recently voted Product of the Year. And for dry, chapped lips, try Carmex Lip Balms, trusted since 1937.
Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. She has responsibilities here to redefine this relationship just as you do. And what I would prefer to do is to bring in some professionals and broker a whole new piece, a whole new communication pattern, a whole new plan with her living in the house where there are rules that are followed on both sides, and we work out something that everybody follows. And but I can't even get halfway through it, but she's telling me, well, you just understand. You know, if you're not mature enough to say, I recognize I need to modify my behavior and conduct myself as an adult, then it needs to be zero contact, because you teach people how to treat you and it will not work. Now, I can either broker a piece and bring in professionals to set this up and monitor this situation, because everybody comes at it with maturity, or my advice is you need to stop this, you need to change your locks, change your phone number, throw your cell phones away, and you need to stop contact and let her make it on her own. And that is a harsh approach, but it's the only way you're going to ever get this entitled, abusive expectation out of her head in your life.
I don't know how to talk to my mom, obviously. I already told you.
But as soon as I say, you say, well, what else am I supposed to do? I do everything until it's time for her to go to bed. What do you expect me to do? I expect you to be responsible for your daughter. It is not their responsibility. They are willing to provide a roof and keep you warm with some food. The child is your responsibility.
Clearly.
And anything beyond that is a gift. So if you're willing to give it a try, I will bring in the stormtroopers and do it. But if not, you've got to be willing to shut this down.
I'm definitely willing to try. I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why I've reached out, because we can't continue to live this way any longer.
Okay, then we'll do that and see what happens.
Thank you.
All right, I want to thank all of my guests today. If you're caught in a family drama and you want my advice, you can go to drphil.com. It's there. You can tell me your story. I'll tell you what I think. It's not necessarily what you're going to want to hear, but I've been doing this a while. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Just like this one, okay? Okay, thanks. Willis? Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
On an all-new Dr. Phil. She's a young mom.
My son's girlfriend is manipulative, conniving, fake.
She's her future mother-in-law.
You don't talk, you spit words out. You're just spewing venom.
Because I have a lot of venom in me.
Did you grab her by the hair and snatch her up off the couch?
Absolutely.
The baby was sitting in my lap.
No, the baby was not.
You decided to attack her.
I snatched her up off the couch. Yes, I did. I will make a scene. Yes, I will.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. How are you? Hey guys, how are you? All right, take a look. This is Victoria. She's 19 years old, a new mom to an adorable 6-month-old boy, and is in love with her fiance, Connor. Seems pretty innocent, right? What's not to love about Victoria? Well, according to her future mother-in-law, Megan, plenty. Listen to this.
My son's girlfriend, Victoria, is a manipulative, conniving, fake, rude, disrespectful, inconsiderate bitch.
Well, certainly has a turn of phrase, does she not? Connor says he is stuck in the middle with women wanting him to pick a side. It's either Mom Megan or fiancée Victoria. Let's listen.
My mother hates my girlfriend, Victoria, and she cut me off from the family because of her.
My son Connor and I used to be inseparable. Victoria came into the picture, and he completely changed.
The last time I saw my mother, she screamed at me and told me to leave my tramp and to get my dog in check. She met my girlfriend.
Connor's mother, Megan, is a two-faced liar.
I blame Victoria for the fact that Connor dropped out of school. She left her high school to attend his high school in another county. Connor dropped out of school because of her jealousy. She entrapped him, thinking that his inheritance was going to go to him monetarily. And it's not. It's educational inheritance.
Megan is using Connor to use his inheritance for her own home remodeling.
My mother got the money to buy a house on an acre property. She redid her bathroom with a huge jacuzzi, and she did the second bathroom and now her kitchen, which has marble countertops.
Connor and Victoria blow money. She is all the time buying clothes. Connor's all the time buying things. New shoes, new clothes. Hello, kids, you have a child.
Guy can't be with Connor if his mother is in his life. Connor's mom is crazy and she needs help.
I just want my family to get along.
Okay, so your son, Connor, is getting ready to make a huge mistake, in your opinion.
Absolutely.
And already has in terms of having a child with this girl.
Well, at 16, 17, yes, that's a mistake.
Well, but you would think it would be a mistake no matter what age because of her.
Yes.
Did she trap him into this?
I believe she did.
How so?
She made a phone call to the attorney, a state attorney, in reference to Connor's education, convinced his minor brother to try to call the attorney to obtain a $300,000 home for them. So I believe that's entrapment right there, that she is after the money, and that's all she sees is money signs.
Is that true?
I do not have the guts to do that. I don't.
She just said you called this estate attorney.
No, I've never called her and talked to her in my life.
That's not what I got when I called her.
I like to deal with the facts here, and people get to flying accusations around, and you said some pretty strong stuff. You came out and said, you know, she's just a gold-digging bitch, essentially.
Yes.
And then I asked her, she said, I've never talked to this attorney ever. So are you just making that up, or what?
No, I spoke to the attorney in reference to Victoria's comment, you're getting out of the house. The house belongs to the children. It is not your house. You are not entitled to it. And the attorney quickly said, yes, I've heard that story. Connor has called me several times.
That's not what you said. You said she called the lawyer.
That's what the attorney...
And then you just told me that the attorney said Connor, that she talked to Connor.
Victoria had called, and then she called Connor back himself, and Connor never returned the phone call back until at a later date.
Is this your lawyer?
Yes, sir, it is.
Has Victoria called?
No. And I spoke to her one time.
We can call the lawyer and find out whether Victoria talked to her or not.
That is fine.
And whether the lawyer told you that or not. Because I can deal with facts.
Absolutely.
Because if you're all upset because she's called a lawyer when in fact she hasn't even done that, then your face would be red, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. But that still does not change the fact that she has tried to manipulate Connor's brother into calling the attorney to get a home for them, when that is not what the money is for.
So that wouldn't exactly bring peace to the situation. If you're wrong, that would just be one thing you'd cross off.
Yes, that would be one, yes.
Are you a gold digger?
No, I didn't even know anything about the money when I met Connor. We were 4 months into our relationship, and it all came about because they were buying a house. And I said, your mom's not working, how do they have the money for that? And that's where it came up. And I was already with him. I was already in a relationship with him at that point. I've already told him he can do whatever he wants with that money. I don't care about it. I've mentioned in the future, when you do get it, if you're going to do anything smart with it, at least buy us a home.
She says you're bossy and controlling and manipulative and pushy.
Bossy a little bit, but manipulative and conniving, absolutely not.
Yeah. So how are you involved in their relationship so much?
I try to stay out of it. It is none of my business. Honestly, it is really none of my business. Connor took his siblings and I to the doctor.
I'm just leaning back because if a lightning bolt's going to hit, No,
I mean, please.
You don't seem like a laid-back kind.
No, I'm not.
Let's talk.
Let's talk, please.
What do you think your capacity for insight is? What do you think your ability is to be objective about yourself?
I am objective about myself. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect mother. I have flaws. And any advice I give to them is life-learned advice.
Yeah.
No one gave it to me.
Do you think you might be kind of hard to leave alone?
No. I had 21 days of bliss in my life at 40 years old. 21 days of complete function.
Out of 40 years?
Out of 40 years, Dr. Phil.
Only 21 days?
Only, and that's pathetic. I know that. I know that. No Connor's drama, no Victoria drama.
Was that like the first 3 weeks of your life? I mean, what was it? When was it? Was it when he was out of your...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it started the 1st of November, the week before Thanksgiving, and then I get a phone call to come here.
You seem pretty intense.
I'm very angry. I'm very upset.
Yeah. What are you upset about?
I'm upset about the fact that my son, who is a wonderful person, has a very large heart and can be whatever he wants to be, is being controlled and manipulated by his son's mother, tracked by phone devices where he is. She calls a 14-year-old minor to locate and track Connor.
That part's not true.
Really?
Tracking is yes, but getting someone else to track him, no.
Calling and asking them if Connor is there because his phone is cut off and he is 10 minutes late getting home from work, and I want to know if he is there?
Okay, what do you?
Because
I didn't
they're
say
readily
track
available.
Connor. Go track Connor. Get on the computer and track Connor. I've never said. I said, is Connor there at your house? That is what I've said.
Is Connor there at your house? His phone is off and he is 10 minutes late coming home from work, and I want to know where he is.
Yeah. Why is that a problem? Asking where
Because
he's
you
at.
don't need to get a minor involved. You call her mother.
I don't have her mother's phone number. I only have hers.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
All right. you got two women managing you pretty actively.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Okay, when we come back, we're going to find out why Connor says Megan kicked him out of the house when he was only 16. She says, no. I didn't kick him out. He left. We're going to find out what that's all about when we come back.
Connor got drunk and then blacked my husband's eyes. So Connor, being a baby that he was, he called Mimi and Papa to come and get him. So I said, fine. Let him go be powdered on the ass like he wants to be.
And later, did you grab her by the hair and drag her off the couch?
I snatched her up off the couch. Yes, I did.
I didn't even do anything.
So you decided to attack her?
Yes, sir. I did.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My greatest fear is my daughter's snapping one day and actually killing me.
Do you get violent?
I do not hit her.
She grabbed a huge bottle and threw it at me.
I didn't throw it at her.
You never know what's going to trigger her.
Correct.
Would you beating her up and kicking her? Would that have anything to do with it?
I have not done that. This is just very weird how it turned around on me.
Yeah, isn't it funny how that happens?
That's tomorrow.
When I used to live with my mother, she'd get so angry she would punch me across the jaw.
Connor's mother, Megan, is very violent. She has bitten her son and pulled me up by my hair off a couch while my son was in my lap. Megan attacked me and could have killed the baby. He was only a month old.
Imagine being 16 years old and your mother kicks you out of the house and says you're not welcome in this family anymore. Well, that's what Connor says happened 2 years ago. Mom Megan says, oh no. Connor behaved his way right out the door. Take a look.
My mother kicked me out of the house 2 years ago because I got in a fight with my stepdad.
Connor got drunk, and Connor then blacked my husband's eyes. So Connor, being a baby that he was, instead of manning up and accepting that what he had done was wrong, he called Mimi and Papa to come and get him. And they pretty much told me, we're taking guardianship, sign this. So I said, fine. Let him go be powdered on the ass like he wants to be.
The night Megan kicked Connor out of the house, she blocked Connor on Facebook and deleted his number.
Connor did not get kicked out of the house. Connor made a choice to move out. So, stay. Keep your drama over there. Misery loves company, and that's a household full of it.
Some things flew by here really fast that I have to kind of just pump the brakes a second. You two got in a physical fight, the two of you?
No.
I wouldn't say it was a fight.
Well, did you grab her by the hair and drag her off the couch?
I snatched her up off the couch. Yes, I did. And Connor was right there telling her, Victoria, you need to sit down and shut your mouth. My mother was not addressing you. I was talking to the 13-year-old little girl that was there having cocktails with Victoria.
No, that's why the fight came about, because I was saying I did not give alcohol to a minor, and that's why you got mad. Basically mad because I'm saying I didn't give alcohol to a minor.
That's not what the minor says.
Well,
you were mixing cocktails up for.
How was I mixing when everyone came in the house and I had a baby on my lap? How am I in the
You didn't
kitchen
have the
mixing
baby,
stuff?
Victoria.
The baby was sitting in my lap.
No,
She had to
the baby was
Was
not.
the baby in my lap?
Yeah.
But you did grab her by the hair and snatch her up off the couch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you people raised by wolves? What are you doing? Why are you grabbing her by the hair and snatching her up off the couch? Play this out for me. You've got her by the hair.
Yes.
She's off the couch. You're telling her to shut your mouth. Then what?
And that was it.
What do you do? You did.
I plopped her back on the couch and told
Connor
her to shut
grabbed
up.
her.
No, Connor
grabbed
did
her
not
off
put
me.
his hands on me, Victoria. No, you did not, Connor.
I did. I wouldn't say I just grabbed my mom in particular. I got in between them.
Thank you.
To stop it.
I didn't even do anything. I didn't even know it had happened until after she had picked me up by my hair. I didn't even know what had happened until she did that.
Maybe because we consumed half a bottle of black cherry rum?
No, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't remember anything that happened if I did that.
Her and the young girl. The bottle hadn't even been opened yet.
So you were stone cold sober?
Absolutely.
So you had all your faculties about you?
Yes, sir.
When you decided to attack her?
Yes, sir, I did. Was it wrong? I will gladly admit it was wrong. Did I overreact? You're right, I did. But Victoria has these tendencies to cause scenes.
She has a tendency to cause scenes.
I will make a scene. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
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 I'm a bitch, and I'll gladly say it.
Can we go back to you? You're blacking your stepfather?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, you punched him in the face?
I did.
Why?
I got mad. I started hollering and stuff like that, and I went to the house, slammed the door, and Shannon came into the house saying, well, if you want to start hollering at everybody, you can yell at me, a big boy. Going just like this, just in my face. So I kept pushing him back. I pushed him back about 2 or 3 times in the front yard, and he lunged towards me, and I yanked him, threw him around to the garage, and I hit him 3 times, exactly 3 times.
Well, Megan says her mother is enabling Victoria and Connor and needs to stop. So we're going to meet her next, see what she has to say about all this chaos. We'll be right back.
I cannot wait for the day that the burning heat of hell grips my mother by the bottom of her feet as she's taking her last breath.
Megan's always telling me what a horrible, horrible mother I was, but she's the one that is mean and vicious.
And later, you're just spewing venom, everything.
Because
you don't
I have a lot of venom in me.
But you don't talk, you spit words out.
Because I have a lot of anger in me. Yes, I do, Dr. Phil.
This February.
The woman accused of pushing her husband to his death.
I'm a horrible person who could do that.
The stakes are higher.
Your daughter is saying there was a struggle. He stumbled and fell backwards. Did you push him out that window?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Emotions run deeper.
You're very critical of the woman that has adopted your baby.
She looks like a stripper.
Olivia's been stalking me.
Bring the restraining order. I'll show you where you blatantly lied in it. Bring it.
You're in her face saying, you lie, you lie, you lie.
She's a saint. We're the bad people. Is that what you're telling me?
Tempers get hotter.
Our neighbors make our life a living hell.
They set a mortar shell under the swing set and tried to blow it up.
That is not true. We are being harassed.
Put her on a lie detector test.
And I want you to do one too because the machine is going to blow up.
And we're just getting started.
I had a traumatized 3-year-old girl saying, my daddy hurt me. Where is he going to hurt you at?
A child does not say those things unless she was coached.
You cannot coach a 3-year-old. Ask anyone.
That is coaching.
I came here to help my daughter, and you turned this into a giant circus.
I'm done.
My mother has enabled Connor by allowing Victoria and Connor to stay with her for as long as they have. She pays for the baby's diapers, gets the baby's wipes. Connor and Victoria's room is filthy. The baby's room is disgusting, and my mother is unable to get up and clean the house as she once could. Victoria and Connor, they need to get out of my mother's house and grow up and do what everybody else has done when they have had children. Do it on your own.
Well, when Connor was 16, he says his mother, Megan, kicked him out of the house and he moved in with his grandma, Bonnie. She says, no. He behaved his way out of that house. He made the choice. But now 2 years later, Connor and his girlfriend and their 6-month-old baby are all living under her mother, Bonnie's roof. Now, Megan says she is so angry at her mother for taking them in that she says she can't wait for her to die and feel the flames of hell burning at the bottom of her feet. Bonnie says she's never had a good relationship with her daughter, Megan. Take a look.
My mother, Bonnie, she is a bitch. She will do anything to spite me. I cannot wait for the day that the burning heat of hell grips her by the bottom of her feet as she's taking her last breath.
Megan's always telling me what a horrible, horrible mother I was, but she's the one that is mean and vicious.
My mother, on a regular basis, doesn't get out of her pajamas. Connor was living with her when he dropped out of school. She did not force him to go to school. My mother is just as crazy as Victoria.
The thing that makes me mad the most about Megan is her telling vicious lies about Victoria. Victoria is a kind, beautiful, sweet girl. Megan was never half the girl that Victoria was at Victoria's age. Last time I told Megan that she needed to stay out of Victoria and Connor's business, she left me the most horrible, horrible message.
I hate you. You're a mean, belligerent bitch.
I am sick and tired of my mother undermining me with my child.
Even though Megan treats me very poorly, I still love her and would love to have a relationship if she would please get on some medication, whatever she has to do.
I do not want a relationship with my mother. There is nothing to rekindle, so I'm done with her. She can kiss my ass.
Why do you two not get along?
I don't know.
You just don't have a clue?
I don't have a clue. It's Megan's philosophy.
You've known her her whole life. I mean,
her philosophy on things is it's my way or the highway. And if I give her my opinion about her actions or anything she's doing, she goes off like she did in that voicemail.
Mother, don't you ever call me. Don't you ever show up around my kids. You keep your trifling away from me. I hate you. I hate you.
Can I explain that voicemail? Connor?
I thought it was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but as up to what pushed me to that point, Connor picked at 2:35 on a Tuesday, picked me, his sister, and his brother up. His sister had been vomiting, had diarrhea, and 104.9 fever that particular morning.
She went to the hospital.
Connor came to pick me up to take them to the doctor. The whole time from the time we get there, she's calling, cussing him out. What? You can't stop? I'm sitting here hungry. You could have come and got me something to eat the whole time. And Connor is, Victoria, chill out. I'm taking them to the doctor. The appointment is in 5 minutes. Am I correct, Connor? So we get to the doctor's appointment. The whole time at the doctor's appointment, Victoria's calling him. I'm packing up all your shoes, and I'm going to Plato's Closet, and I'm selling them. And I wanted to go do things that I wanted to do, and you need to get your ass home to watch the baby now. Well, my thinking is, you've never had a problem letting my mother watch the baby. What the hell's the difference now? Connor's going to be home in a little bit. So he's getting screamed at. So finally, I call my mother. Mom, what is going on? Victoria's screaming at Connor, and my mother's like, I don't know. All I know is you're taking up Victoria's time with Connor for the day, and you need to get your together and take care of your own kids. And then I blew up. You're going to be that inconsiderate that your other 2 grandchildren are ill? And I'm taking Victoria's time away from Connor? Last time I checked, family helps family out, and there are emergencies in some cases.
If they were that sick, you wouldn't have gone shopping.
We were waiting on medicine, thank you. I've ridden this rodeo a lot more than you have.
She's a bitch, and she's a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'll say it. I'm a bitch.
You say that as though it's a virtue. Question.
Absolutely.
What those two are saying to each other, what business is that of yours?
When I can hear them and I'm sitting in the car with them and I can hear it, I think that becomes my business.
But this is his relationship.
You're absolutely right. So keep your mouth shut when you're around me and keep it to yourself. Don't involve me by me being able to hear the conversation.
Oh, no. He didn't involve you just because you could overhear it. If I'm in a restaurant, somebody hears me say something to my wife, that doesn't mean I involve them. They just heard it.
No, he gets in the car and he's like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, so he involved you.
Absolutely.
Then you sent a text message to Victoria.
No, I didn't. Absolutely, I don't have her number. She was texting my foster son, and my foster son was replying back, and she was like, okay, Megan, whatever, Megan, okay, Megan. He proceeded to answer, and at the end of the...
So you didn't send her a text message?
From his phone after she had been accusing him on multiple times. I unloaded on a text message.
So when you said no, you meant yes?
Yes.
Okay. So You said this to Victoria. You said, "This is Megan." That's how I knew.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
yeah.
I did say I sent it.
"This is Megan, you selfish bitch. I was at the doctor. Do you want me to take a picture of the doctor's release so that you know Connor was not
screwing around?"
Okay. So I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my mom. Leave all of us
the hell alone.
The hell alone. Thank you for cleaning that up. And if you're dying or somebody is sick and dying, don't
call me.
Don't blank and call me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't want to be involved with the drama anymore. Leave me out of it.
You don't want to be involved in the drama. You thrive on drama.
No, I haven't.
You live for drama. You are drama.
The drama is right here. It's nowhere else. I don't have it with my husband. I don't have it with my other children.
I'm guessing you would argue with a statue.
The apple doesn't fall far from the apple tree, Dr. Phil.
She's a bitch, and she's a bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'll say it. I'm a bitch.
You say that as though it's a virtue.
Do you know what I've had to be a bitch?
No, you haven't. It's a way to protect yourself.
Well, yeah, I've had to protect myself from her all these years.
Well, I'm sorry. If that's the way it was, that's not the way I remember anything.
I remember it very well. Connor has witnessed you saying ugly, mean things to me.
You said she was hateful and belittling and tick. Aren't you in her image? If that's what you say she was, that's why I asked you about insight. I mean, you're just spewing venom. You're just everything.
Because I have a lot of venom in me.
But you don't talk. You spit words out.
Because I have a lot of anger in me. Yes, I do, Dr. Phil. A lot of anger. A lot.
But that comes from the inside out. And, here comes Victoria, and, she may not be perfect, but I just can't believe she's the vile bitch that she's getting credit for.
Mother, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we not have a conversation back in October where you specifically said, "Oh my gosh, Victoria's mouth is over the edge. I don't understand it."
Victoria can be mouthy. I admit that, and she will admit that. And that particular day, I don't believe that Victoria was being mouthy at me.
But did you give her a chance? You said the very first time you met her, you said to yourself, is she ever going to shut up?
Yes, she answered for Connor. I asked Connor, we were sitting at the table. So Connor, how are you liking your new school? Oh, he likes his school just fine.
How dare you?
I don't even remember that, but okay.
All right, Bonnie says Victoria is the sweetest girl and will make a beautiful bride. We'll find out what Megan has to say about a wedding for these teenagers. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Why is her daughter so violent?
Do you get violent?
I do not hit her.
Do you degrade her?
No.
Oh, really? What does she call you?
Can I say it? She calls me a...
That's tomorrow.
I'm not allowed to do anything without Victoria.
Connor has to realize that he has a baby and a fiance, and he needs to tell me where he goes and what he does.
If I come home from work and decide to take a different route, she follows me on my iPhone and she texts me wondering where I'm at.
I have this app that allows me to track Connor.
Sometimes I think Victoria acts a lot like my mother.
Don't believe I'd have said that. Connor says when his mom found out that he and Victoria were having a baby, she hit the roof. She accused Victoria of trapping her son because she says Victoria found out months before she got pregnant that Connor has a big inheritance coming his way. Victoria said they even recently got engaged. Or did they? Take a look.
Whether she likes it or not, Megan is going to be my mother-in-law. Connor and I got engaged in September of this year. He took me to the store and told me to pick out a ring, and we were engaged from there.
Victoria thinks we're engaged, but I'm not so sure if we are or we aren't. Technically, I guess we would be because I got the ring for her and I gave it to her, but it was never an official proposal. I did not ask Victoria to marry me. I might have second thoughts.
Whoa, that sounds like news to you. The first part of that tape, you say took
It's
you.
okay, we discussed it before, so it's okay.
Says you went to the store, got a ring, you were engaged.
I just assumed that if you're getting me a ring, everyone's going to assume you're getting engaged if you're getting someone a ring. I mean, it's just an assumption. And then, I mean, we put it on Facebook, so that's another one.
So do you not want to marry the mother of your child?
I love her to death, and I would marry her. I just think that we do argue too much, and we do have a couple of things that we should take care of before we make a giant step, and before we do that, and before we do get married.
I think it's very responsible to say there are things we need to resolve and deal with, and I think that it's very important that you go through a whole premarital process, premarital counseling, where you do have to talk about and come to some common ground on what your vision is for the marriage.
I would love to do that.
What you expect all these things to be, because paperwork won't solve it. You got to solve it before the paperwork. And do you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But you just want to get to it, right?
Well,
Let's get into it. Let's get it done.
I guess I'm just fear of losing him. Easier, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But do you want to do that?
Oh, yeah, of course I would do that. I would do it in a heartbeat.
I can even arrange for you to do it right in the comfort of your own home. We can do it over Doctor on Demand, where you got a computer right there. You can sit right in front of them, and you can have a doctor-level therapist right there that can walk you through it, discuss this with you, give you things you need to work out for the next session.
That's awesome, yes.
Would you like to do that? That's one of the things we'll do. All right, coming up, Megan says her grandson is not being taken care of properly, and she's even threatened to call Child Protective Services. And Bonnie says she has given the kids a deadline to move out. Is she sticking with that, or is she kind of waffling on it? We'll talk about that next.
I love the baby, but I am 67. I weigh 85 pounds, and the baby weighs almost 20 now, and I have emphysema. It's hard for me to care for a young baby. My husband and I were hoping to have a nice, quiet retirement, and everything's just been put on hold. What I'm doing, Megan should be doing. It's almost like she doesn't love the baby.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
I got a phone call from my mother in reference to social services showing up at their house. I was accused of calling them. I did not. I asked Victoria why they were called out. She told me because she had placed her hand over the baby's mouth because the baby would not stop crying and she was unsure as to what to do. There's a parent that set red flags that there was something unstable there.
Well, Connor and his fiancée, Victoria, and their 6-month-old son live with 67-year-old grandmother, Bonnie. Now, Connor's mother, Megan, says Bonnie needs to kick them to the curb and let them make their own mistakes. Do you think you're easy to get along with or hard to get along with?
It depends on the situation.
One thing I know about anger is that it's an outward manifestation of at least 3 other things. Hurt, fear, and frustration.
Absolutely.
All of those things, if they're expressed, those are vulnerabilities. But anger, on the other hand, is a more defensive posture. It's a more protective posture. Whereas hurt, fear, and frustration is kind of leading with your chin, where you can get yourself wounded even further. And so people default to anger because it seems to be more protective. But it gets really tiresome going through life like this.
Absolutely.
It just gets really tiresome. And I hate that for you.
I'm exhausted from it.
That's a burden I would really like to see you able to lay down. And as a result, I would really offer to get you some professional help with this too. Not help you in your relationship with her, not help you in your relationship with him, not help you in relationship with your mother, but just let you be totally selfish on your own behalf. If it benefits everybody else along it, great. That'd be super. But I would just like to be one person in your life that looked past all the anger and the barking and said, I want to help the person that's behind that and get you some help with this. Would you accept that?
Absolutely.
Gift from me?
Absolutely.
Because if you will, I want to arrange that. And
that would be wonderful.
And I'll do that. And then if that impacts how you deal with these people, great. And if not, then at least you're happy, even if you're sitting out in the woods by yourself. I mean, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah. And the entire time you've been here, that's the first time you've genuinely smiled since you got here.
Yes.
And it's really becoming to you.
Thank you.
When you do. All right, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Fair enough? Okay. All right. All right, next, a marriage problem so serious the husband was not sleeping on the couch, not in another bedroom, but in the bathtub. You're going to want to hear this and why when we come back. Thanks. Ready to get real? Go to drphil.com for advice on relationships, parenting, finances, and more. Plus, weigh in on your favorite episodes, share your stories, and find support in the Dr. Phil community. When you sign up for the community, you will automatically be subscribed to the Dr. Phil Show newsletter. Log on to drphil.com today. You know, some of us think it's funny, some of us hate it, and everyone does it a little differently. What is it? Well, let's take a listen. Well, joining me is my good friend, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. Welcome.
Thank you.
I bet a lot of people can relate to that video, and my son Jordan's dog was in there. Her name is Pig, and boy, is she a loud snorer. I mean, she snores like crazy. So, Doc, what causes snoring?
Yeah, so snoring is caused in a very straightforward way. So when air passes the tissues in the throat, that air during breathing causes those tissues to vibrate. Now, a lot of people do think that snoring is just noisy and a nuisance, but it can be serious. It can cause to everything from unrefreshed sleep to very serious health consequences. Now, men are more affected by snoring than women are, right. And people who are over 40 and overweight tend to more commonly be snorers as well.
Right.
In the U.S., there are 90 million adults that are affected by snoring.
My next guest says her husband's snoring is so loud, she had to move out of their bedroom. Take a look at this.
Manny's snoring is so loud that I cannot get any sleep. On a scale of 1 to 10, his snoring is a 10 every night.
Deb says I have a snoring problem, but I don't think I do.
Whenever I sleep with Manny, I don't feel rested. I will feel groggy and even grouchy.
When she gets grouchy, she's hard to deal with. She gets irritable. It's not fun for either one of us.
I drive a Mustang, and I would compare Manny's snoring to the sound of my muffler.
She's definitely exaggerating when she says my snoring's the loudest for Mustang. I can't be that loud.
His snoring is so out of control that we sleep in separate rooms.
You miss the cuddling and the touching and the feeling and whatnot.
Manny is in denial. He's a smoker, and he will hide it from me. He thinks he's fooling everybody, but he's not.
I can't blame her.
I believe his snoring has gotten worse, and I need to fix the snoring problem now.
I'm sure I'm going to die of something, but I'd rather die rested.
Okay. Well, Manny and Deb are joining us now, so welcome. And Manny, we heard from Deb that your snoring bothers her. She thinks I have a problem but I don't think I have a problem. Are you deaf?
Well, I don't hear it when I'm sleeping. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I know it bothers her, but and that really concerns me most, because when mama's not happy, nobody's happy, so.
Well, but that's like a child coming to their parent in the night and saying, Mommy, Daddy, I'm thirsty, and you wake up and go, well, I'm not. Go back to bed.
Right.
Well, you're not thirsty, so they go back to bed. You're not hearing it, so it's not a problem. It is a problem. It's keeping you awake, right?
It is. It shakes the walls. It shakes the walls. My biggest concern, though, is when he's snoring, there's times he actually stops breathing.
Yeah.
And then he'll, like, cough and start breathing again.
So, Dr. Frieda, you mentioned that snoring can mean health risks. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. And it's not just a health risk to the snorer. It can also be the snoree, if you would. I just made that up. Like Deb, who's kept awake by the snoring. So let me start with Deb. So these repeated nights of disturbed sleep can lead to a whole host of issues. Increased risk for car accidents to depression. So it's really important to address that part. But for the snorer, it's also a signal, or could be a signal. So studies tell us that snoring may be a serious risk factor for heart attacks and for stroke. And for both of you, the fact that you're really not getting a good night's sleep means that you could suffer from daytime drowsiness, which is dangerous for you, but may also be dangerous for the people who are around you.
So when should we be concerned about snoring?
Deb raised a big red flag, and that is this gasping or choking for breath during sleep. That's an important thing to notice. This may be a symptom of obstructive sleep apnea, and this is a condition in which during sleep, breathing is repeatedly interrupted by either shallow breathing or by full stopping for brief periods. Now, this is important because these interruptions in breathing may lead to low blood oxygen. And apnea has been seen as a risk factor for heart attacks, for stroke, and for diabetes. And so I would say observe and record.
Yes, ma'am.
Restless sleep, like is he sleeping soundly or is he moving around a lot? Insomnia, having a hard time getting to sleep. Daytime drowsiness or daytime sleepiness. Decreases in interest in sex. Increases in forgetfulness or changes in mood. If any of these things are happening to Manny, but also to anybody who's listening, this deserves telling your doctor right away.
Okay. And what can he do to help her and himself, for that matter?
Yeah, so there are a few things. Stop smoking. That's an important one. Avoiding alcohol is also important, and sleeping on your side may decrease it. And I think both of you should see your doctor, take all of the information, and then get a plan for addressing your lack of sleep and making sure that you're in good health, and to address your issues as well, to see if you've increased your risk for any of those very serious health issues. All right. And I'm going to wish you both sweet dreams. Of course, there's lots of information on gethealthy.stayhealthy.com if anyone wants more information about snoring.
Yeah, you bet. Look, we want to hear from you, so go to drphil.com, send us your questions. I love it when you're here to talk about this stuff. I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Frieda Lewis Hall. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Good to see you. And I do it too. I do it too. I'll see you guys. Thanks. All right, guys, thanks so much. See ya. See ya.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, this mom found out her husband went to a strip club
21 years ago.
So why did she buy breast implants?
Do you wish now you didn't?
Oh no, I'm so happy I did.
And a stripper pole.
She was pretending to be a stripper.
You come home and there's fake money all around the stripper pole.
My husband did that.
Did she tell you to give your boyfriend as much sex as he wants?
Yes.
Are you insane? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Okay, I want you to look at Marianne. This is what she used to look like. Some would describe her as demure. She was a housewife and mother, rarely wore makeup, and always put her children first. So what would make Marianne do a complete 180? And I mean, we are talking a whiplash of a 180. She has gone out and purchased herself some double D's, a back tattoo, a stripper pole, and plans on getting a lot more plastic surgery. Why? Because get this, 2 years ago, she discovered that her husband went to a strip club. 21 years ago. Then again, 15 years ago. So, is Marianne overreacting? Is she wrongly reacting? Well, let's hear what she has to say.
I found out 2 years ago that my husband had been to a strip club 4 times during our marriage. My husband said to me, "It's no big deal, right? It's just eye candy." Not. I was so angry and hurt by what he did that I flew to Vegas and went to the exact same strip club he went to. Wow. It was the most seedy, darkest, ugliest thing I've ever saw. I felt like I was in hell. The girls were way too close. Being at the stage, the place they call Perverts Row, that's exactly why they call it that. I think after he told me he went to the strip clubs, I knew that somehow, some way, breasts were important. It didn't take me much time to take my credit card and go pay for them. I went from a size B to what they say at Victoria's Secret, a double D. I was very excited about my new look. I figured my husband married me because he loves me. And when I found out he went to a strip club, I said, bing. Oh, now I got it. I was transforming from the good girl that I've always been to a whore. The next series of surgeries I want to get are my eyes, the upper and lower, a cheek lift, a tummy tuck, and a butt tuck. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to who I was. The mother and the wife and the family person, because men want the whole package.
You took that to mean that you're not enough.
Exactly. And I thought I married a guy that would never step into a place like that.
And what did he do in the strip club? Did he tell you what he did or not do? Or?
He sat at Perverts Row, so he didn't know that's what it was called. But he watched and he stayed there for 30 or 40 minutes, and he said, I wasn't there very long. And I said, I was there for 30 or 40 minutes. It's a long time.
So you went?
I went. And he paid a prostitute to sit with him also. And this is 2 days before my anniversary, 2 times.
Okay, now, when you went, didn't they ultimately kick you out?
No.
You went with your daughter, right?
Yes. This is the one, I thought you were talking about the one in Vegas.
Okay. No, you've been to more than one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why did they ask you to leave the second one?
I went around to a couple guys and said, if you're married, you probably shouldn't be here.
And management took objection to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this changed your point of view. You decided that if that's what he wants, or if that's what men want, then that's what you would become.
Pretty much. If you want a whore, now you got one.
You want a whore, I'll just whore up.
Right. Danced around a pole a couple times. He goes, I'm sick of this.
Do you have a stripper pole?
I do.
Where'd you put it?
In his shed, so he can look at it every day.
You put it in his shed?
Yep.
Okay.
He looked the first time, then after about the 10th time, he was like, no more. I've had enough.
You went and had breast implants. Do you wish now you didn't?
Oh, no. I'm so happy I did. And then I said, if you want to go look at boobs, I got them now, so.
And you want to have more done?
I do. So
you want to have a butt lift and a tummy tuck and a facelift?
Mm-hmm.
You just want to have...
Yeah, like a string.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Marianne's daughter, Miranda, says her mother is taking this way too far. Not to mention, instead of giving her daughter a college education, she says her mom is trying to teach her something entirely different. Take a look.
Ever since my mom found out that my dad went to the strip club 15 years ago, she's made obsessive changes to her body. Cutting her hair, dyeing her hair, getting a large back tattoo, started drinking, getting plastic surgery. She's really freaking out. She's way obsessive over it. Every day it seems to get worse. After my mom's boob job, she actually talked me into getting a boob job. When I went into the doctor's office with her, she kept telling me to go bigger and bigger, and it was really making me feel uncomfortable.
I kept going like, go up, go up, go up.
She says to get big boobs and to have a lot of sex, because if you don't, that your loved one will end up leaving you. My mom has taught me that big boobs and sex is what they're looking for, not education.
Her dad was looking at something else, naked, then somewhere in the back of his mind he desired that.
My mom came up to me and asked if I've ever been to a strip club, and I said no. She wanted to take me because she's never been to one. My mom was going up to the guys, tapping them on the shoulder and whispering in their ear in a loud way, "Don't do this if you're married." Security escorted her out of the club. My mom's so crazy that she has a stripper pole at the house. The other day I came home and there was fake money all over the floor. She was pretending to be a stripper. She supposedly despises the strippers, but yet she tries to act like one.
Okay, thank you for being here. Now, did she tell you to give your boyfriend as much sex as he wants, or he will look elsewhere?
Yes.
And she wanted you to have this plastic surgery because that's what men want.
Yes.
What are you telling her?
Be a whore.
Well, she wasn't having sex with her boyfriend, and he's like 21. You know, if you don't give them something, they probably will wander.
Are you insane?
No.
You have a beautiful, intelligent daughter here, and you're telling her to just go give up her body so some guy will have a playground?
No, I didn't say that. I said a balance.
Well, it's not exactly a balance. You kind of go over it and say that you should do it a lot.
Okay, look, we're going to find out what Marianne's husband has to say about his wife's new look, new attitude, and her motherly advice to their daughter. You come home and there's fake money all around the stripper pole.
My husband did that.
Oh.
And later, sisters at war over a will.
What did you do with the money I gave you? It's not your decision to say whether or not I could live off the money.
Have you accused her of killing your mother?
Yes, I have.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, a wealthy widow claims she was conned by a football hero.
He had swindled me out of $3 million.
Clueless victim.
I'm just a little housewife.
Were you in love with him?
I was not.
But you do refer to him as your boy toy.
Or co-conspirator.
Some people say you became Bonnie to his Clyde, calling your friends up for $500,000, and then everything hit the wall, and you put on your Aunt B face and said, I don't know nothing about nothing.
That's tomorrow.
My mom used to never wear makeup, just never used to do her hair. She used to clean all the time and cook for my dad, but now she's a completely different person.
My house is a disaster, and I don't care.
The dishes are piled up sky high. Trash is laying all over the floor.
I used to be the person that would be cleaning on my days off. I just quit. I threw in the towel.
Marianne says after her husband Robert revealed he went to some strip clubs 21 years ago and 15 years ago, and even went to a Hooters 11 years ago, her self-esteem plummeted. To compensate, she lost over 40 pounds, changed her hair, began wearing makeup, and underwent a breast augmentation. But she says she is not done yet and has plans for more surgery in the next 2 months. Her daughter Miranda says there is no way her mother's behavior is healthy, and she reached out to me for help. Now, Miranda, you have said that your mother has said she wants to basically take out a loan for $30,000 worth of plastic surgery to continue this journey of changing the wrapper, but yet doesn't have money to support your going to college.
I've tried to ask for just $1,000 to take a couple classes, but it seems like they can never just come up with that. But I find it funny that they can spend, or she can spend her money somewhere else.
Maybe you're overreacting and wrongly reacting to what's going on here?
No, because based on my original faith, I believe that you should never see another naked woman besides your wife.
Okay, but yet you're telling your daughter go have sex with her boyfriend and she's not his wife. How does that square with your faith?
I've lost my faith, obviously. And I didn't tell her to have a lot of sex with her boyfriend. I told her that she wasn't having sex with him at all.
What's she telling you about sex and relationship with men?
Stop wearing sweatpants and baggy clothes and to get out of that phase and to show off my body because I'm young.
Did she tell you that she wished she'd never had kids?
Yes.
Did she blame having kids on the circumstance she's in?
Yes.
All of this seems okay to you.
Mm-hmm.
You just said, he wants a whore, I'm going to be a whore. I get a stripper pole. You come home and there's fake money all around the stripper pole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come from?
My husband did that.
Joining us on the phone is Marianne's husband and Miranda's father, Robert. I'm struggling to wrap my head around Marianne's logic here because you went to a strip club 26 years ago.
She's obsessed, and it's on a daily basis. I mean, every day she talks about it.
And what do you think about how she's counseling your daughter here?
No, I think it's terrible. You know, what Marianne's doing to her is wrong, and I hope that you can help her.
It's strange to me, Marianne, that you think that this is a rational response to what may be a problem or an issue. I don't know.
I don't think anybody should hide anything from your wife or do anything behind their back, and when you hide things, it's cheating, and I don't want that to happen to her.
Okay, I'm with you there. Let's assume that it is a transgression worthy of conversation, okay? Let's talk about the proportionality of your response. You're changing your body, you're changing your values, you're changing your identity, and that is designed to fix what?
This fixes that it's my time, for me, it's my time to have some fun. It's my time to do what I feel like doing, besides being the wife, the mother, the housewife.
Okay, but are you going to get freshened up and dump him? Is that what you're saying?
We haven't decided what to do yet.
Okay, but in the meantime, you're going to tell her you need to forget about college. You just need to get yourself double D's and have lots of sex and hang on to a man.
No, I just said if you're in a relationship, you need to have sex with a man.
What do you say to yourself when she says that to you?
I'm staying the way I am.
What's the degree of transgression? Are you killing a mosquito with a shotgun? Are you putting your entire marriage on the line?
This February,
The woman accused of pushing her husband to his death.
I'm a horrible person who could do that.
The stakes are higher.
Your daughter is saying there was a struggle. He stumbled and fell backwards. Did you push him out that window?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Emotions run deeper.
You're very critical of the woman that has adopted your baby.
She looks like a stripper.
Olivia's been stalking me.
Bring the restraining order. I'll show you where you blatantly lied in it. Bring it.
You're in her face saying, you lie, you lie, you lie.
She's a saint. We're the bad people. Is that what you're telling me?
Tempers get hotter.
Our neighbors make our life a living hell.
They set a mortar shell under the swing set and tried to blow it up.
That is not true. We are being harassed.
Put her on a lie detector test.
And I want you to do one too because the machine is going to blow up.
And we're just getting started.
I had a traumatized 3-year-old girl saying, my daddy hurt me. Where is he going to hurt you at?
A child does not say those things unless she was coached.
You cannot coach a 3-year-old. Ask anyone.
That is coaching.
I came here to help my daughter, and you turned this into a giant circus.
I'm done. From a woman's perspective, I'm curious, what do you guys think about this? All right, what do you have to say about this? What do you think?
That's what your thoughts are, that he's not liking you for who you are, then you don't need to be with him. You know, I don't think you need to change who you are because you're not being true to who you are.
But what do you think about her reaction to him going to a strip club 26 years ago?
Well, I think that's a little crazy.
Stand up.
If you're basing your happiness on your looks, you will never be happy. It will droop, it will wrinkle. And I just encourage you, Mom, to find peace within yourself. However, maybe Dr. Phil can help you do that because you will never be happy until you do that. And daughter, you go. Good for you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Back here in the blue dress.
I think I'm kind of surprised the fact that it's been 26 years ago, but he never left you. He never even indicated that he wanted to leave you for something else. He keeps coming back home. So for that, he loves you. Not your exterior, but what's inside of you. And I think you've got to redirect to some things here.
What do you say to what these folks are saying?
Based on the faith that I had, a lot of Christian women would say that they would not want their husbands in a facility or an environment like that at all.
Oh, I don't think anybody here said they want their husband to go into strip club. I think it's a matter of what's the degree of transgression. Are you killing a mosquito with a shotgun? Are you putting your entire marriage on the line? Are you changing your value system? Are you changing your identity? Are you changing the values by which you parent your daughter based on a transgression that it is just simply not of the magnitude to warrant the reaction?
Well, you see, it is of a magnitude to me because I thought I married a man who completely would never, ever do those things.
Okay. Robert, chime in here.
I made a bad choice, couple bad choices. And, she's never going to let me live it down. It's just, she's crazy.
Let me conclude this then by saying that can't be what all of this is about. This is about you, and it's sent you spinning off. Mm-hmm. You're not the kind of person that would be giving that kind of advice to your daughter, because that's counter to everything that you've ever believed or stood for, correct?
Correct.
And him walking into some strip club 26 years ago, 15 years ago, and Hooters, which is a public place in a strip mall, and because of that, you're now telling your daughter, you need to get naked and have sex to keep a man around. It is absolutely counter to everything you've ever believed about forming a relationship based on a meeting of the minds, a meeting of the souls, respect, mutual admiration, all of the things that go into forming a bond with somebody else across life. And I can tell you there is no relationship that is ever going to be a success-only journey. There are going to be problems, there are going to be hiccups, there are going to be mistakes that are made. And if this is a life sentence for Robert, if you're never going to forgive him for this, you need to tell him and let him go. Because if this is a life sentence, then you can tell him he needs to move on. But I don't think you can know that until you figure out what's really driving this. And I'm happy to get you some help with that.
Thank you.
Don't decide to get a divorce. Don't continue working on your body. And don't be giving your daughter any huge advice about how she needs to get a stripper pole over at her house. You just need to take a look at you first. I mean, what do you got to lose, right?
Right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, next we're going to talk to another family that's having a dilemma. Two sisters at war over their mother's will. You should get the house. One of them wants to sell it, but the problem is the other one's in it. She's saying, you ain't going to sell it with me here, and I'm not going anywhere. We'll be right back.
My sister Jana has lived in my mom's house for 5 years since my mom passed away. I want my sister just to get out right now.
My sister's become a greedy troll. I am not moving out of that house.
Take a look at some sweet family photos from two of my guests today. Now, their mother passed away 5 years ago, and even though the loss of a parent can be tough, you hope it's a time when siblings would come together, but not these sisters. They are in a war over mom's will. Now, Jana says her sister Lisa has stolen most of her share of what their mother wanted to divide equally and has become a greedy troll who now wants to kick her out of her mother's house. Now, Jana has lived in their mother's home since her death, and she just will not move out. Lisa wants to sell the family home and says, to sum it up, Jana is trespassing and has no right to live there. She wants her sister out of the house, and she wants her out now.
I want my sister just to get out of my mom's house right now. My sister Jana has lived in my mom's house for 5 years since my mom passed away. Jana doesn't pay any utilities or rent. I pay everything. Jana lives there for free. For about 3 years now, Jana has accused me of stealing money from my mom. The money was left to me as sole beneficiary to distribute at my discretion. I gave Jana $13,000 after my mom passed. I gave Jana my mom's car and she totaled it. Her living in the house free for 5 years is about $15,000. I've given Jana the value of $28,000. She's never said thank you for anything. She's ungrateful and feels entitled. I told Jana in September 2014 that I'd wanted to sell the house. Jana had said that if I would give her her share of the proceeds, then she could afford to move someplace else and she would leave the house. But I don't have those funds to give her. Once this house is sold and those proceeds are distributed, I'm done.
Well, Jana says Lisa is not doing what their mother wanted and is only looking out for herself.
I am not moving out of that house. The house is paid for. My sister's become a greedy troll. Lisa's been very shady since my mom died. I don't know the person she's become. I believe that Lisa's talked mom into making her beneficiary only. I guess Lisa decided that since she was the perfect child, she was entitled to what mom had. After my mom died, Lisa had her taxes done. There were tens of thousands of dollars. I saw none of it. My mom's money has basically gone into my sister's house, new car, and the other little fun things. She'll show me something that she bought. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, gee, I own part of that because you bought that with the money that you took from me, that mom left me. I want her to admit she's wrong. I want her to make it right. Lisa chose to have money over having me as a sister.
Well, first off, let me say to both of you, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
What would you hope to gain today? What could come out of this that would help heal this family?
I want her to admit that she lied to my mom. She told mom that she would split everything evenly in between the three of us.
And what would you hope to gain from today?
I want to resolve the house. I want to be able to sell the house. And
Why haven't you sold a house?
because Jana's still living there.
Well,
and I don't want to put her on the street.
now, have you accused her of killing your mother?
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I have. Yes, I have.
I don't know about you, but when somebody accuses me of killing my mother, the conversation kind of dries up from that point forward.
Yeah. Maybe that was my cue, and I guess I didn't take it.
You missed that? Well, here's the text from Jana to Lisa, November 7th to 15th, so not too long ago. Jana, you're a thief, a liar, and a troll. You're going to rot in hell. You never loved my mom. You just wanted what she had. You probably even killed her. Funny how all of a sudden you stopped taking her to her appointments. Kind of makes one wonder. And how you had her buried so quickly without a medical exam being done.
Everybody was shocked that she was buried that quickly. I was just surprised that there was no viewing beforehand.
First hour of the funeral was a viewing.
So there was a viewing?
I didn't want to see her like that, and that's why I chose not to be there when she took her. Well, no, and that's fine, but I wasn't aware that there was even a viewing before the funeral.
Well, but to say it's strange there wasn't a viewing, actually it's strange that you weren't at the viewing.
Well,
but there was a viewing, is the point.
I didn't want to. I wasn't aware that there was a viewing until just now, so, and I apologize for that.
Next, it's been 5 years since her mother's passing, so why hasn't Lisa purchased a headstone for their mother's grave? Jana really wants to know the answer to that one. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Was this wealthy widow a victim?
He had swindled me out of $3 million.
Or a co-conspirator?
People saying you became Bonnie to his Clyde, calling your friends up for $500,000.
That's tomorrow.
I believe that Lisa is so greedy that she hasn't even purchased a headstone for my mom yet. These are the carnations I bought her at Thanksgiving. I come out here and visit her, and it makes me sad that she doesn't have a headstone. It bothers me because she was very adamant that she have a headstone immediately.
I knew that doing my mom's headstone would be the last thing that I would ever do for my mom. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I guess Lisa doesn't feel that it's important enough for mom to have a headstone, even though she promised mom that she would.
I designed something and showed it to Jana, and she didn't really like it. So I said, well, then come up with something on your own.
She has no respect for my mom's feelings. She just flat out doesn't care.
I'm going to get a headstone as soon as the house sells and all of this is behind me.
I believe now that the money is gone, that she doesn't plan on doing it. I don't think Lisa even comes here anymore.
Why no headstone?
At first it was just really hard for me to do. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And then when I did decide to go ahead and do it, I asked Jenna if she'd go with me so we could do it together. And she didn't want to go. So I picked a design. She didn't like the design. So she said she would find something on her own.
So you think there should be a headstone?
I think there's,
and
yes.
you think she should move out of the house?
Agreed.
I have an email from Lisa from less than a month ago that says mom would be thrilled to know that the house would be staying in the family.
If you were to buy it, that's correct.
Well, you've lived there for 5 years rent-free?
The house is paid for.
Yeah.
Lisa doesn't pay all the utilities. She pays the PG&E. She pays the power. I pay the water bill, and I do the upkeep on the house.
There are animals in the house?
There are animals in the house.
Or are they degrading the house?
They go out in the backyard and they go to the bathroom. I mean, they don't tear up the walls. They are not destroying the house.
But is there a strong odor in the house?
You know what? There could be.
Because our crew refused to shoot in the house for health reasons.
I've always been a pack rat. Insane pack rat.
The house, frankly, is a disaster. She does not have a lot of organizational skills.
I've always been the queen of clutter. I will take a pile of stuff and just move it to a different section of the house. I wouldn't say a hoarder, but I have a hard time throwing things away.
Paisley, oh, you silly girl.
Her work at the animal shelter has fostered hundreds of dogs in the last 5 years, to the point that she actually tore the carpet out of our mother's bedroom because it had so much animal stuff on it.
The truth is, you are the executor, and it says that there should be a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 split unless you deem otherwise. If the house is sold at what it's assessed to be worth right now, and you were to distribute 1/3 of it to her, you would be beyond 1/3 of the estate right now with what she has received if she got 1/3 of the house. So
we had gone to a lawyer last year, I think it was last year, and he had said that even though I had been in the house for as long as I had, that she would still owe me, it was like $30,000, even though I had been living there for rent, with no rent.
Well, when the house is sold, you'll get that anyway,
Well,
so you'll be all fixed.
I don't plan on
Which
leaving.
means
I
you're
plan on
fighting
buying the
about
house.
nothing.
I'm going to buy the house.
She either buys it or moves. It's that simple. I need a break. Next, Jana isn't the only one who says Lisa is going against her mother's wishes. We're going to find out what their mom's best friend has to say when we come back.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
My sister had called and said, well, what do you want of Mom's? And I was like, excuse me? Mom's still alive. Don't even go there. And she said, no, we need to figure this out. What do you want? And I was like, I don't want anything. I want my mom. She's like, well, I get the bedroom furniture. It totally creeped me out. I didn't want to answer it, but she insisted that I decide what I want. She needed an answer. It was just weird.
Well, Lisa and Jana agree on one thing. They say the relationship took a turn for the worse after the death of their mother 5 years ago. Joining us on the phone is Kathy, who was best friends with their mother. Kathy, what can you add to this conversation?
One of the times when I took Krista to an appointment, we were talking in the car, and she said she was worried about distributing the money equally. But then she said she decided it was better to just go ahead and distribute it equally among the 3 kids.
Well, it's good to hear a third party say what she wanted to do, and I think that's consistent with what it says. And look, there's a personality issue here, girls, but I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do here, and you'll get this behind you. You need to put the house up for sale, and I can tell you, you're not going to be able to sell the house with her in it. So you need to either agree a date certain for her to be out, and you have to give notice of at least 60 days for her to be evicted from the house, which you've already done, which means you could have the sheriff go evict her this week. And if she wants to buy the house, then she'll either be evicted or she'll buy the house. Then all you have left is your relationship to start rebuilding that or not.
No. So she's not going to let the money go. She's not going to let it.
She had given my brother $20,000, and she had paid off his child support, which was $37,000. Mom wanted money to be split into thirds.
What did you do with the money I gave you?
I survived on the money.
You didn't work.
Lisa, it wasn't your...
When I stopped giving you money, you worked.
But it's not for you to say that you're not going to give me money, because it's not your decision to say whether or not I could live off the money.
If you think that there's money that you shouldn't get, then you need to get a lawyer and pursue it, because I'm telling you, you're going to be sadly disappointed.
Well,
because I've been through it all, and you guys are fighting about nothing. For some reason, you're just not doing it. And so I'm telling you, if you really want to get this over with, then what you need to do is sell the house. You're not going to sell that house with her in it because it is not marketable. You need to just man up here and do it.
Okay.
Coming up, find out why my next guest lost half her body weight, yet still doesn't feel her life is complete. That's next. We can't do this show without you, our studio audience.
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Because we have a lot of fun here, don't we?
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445.
My next guest recently lost 125 pounds and found herself a new man. She is a busy real estate agent raising 2 teenagers. So with a wedding on the way, she wants a fresh new look for her new life. Take a look.
I want a refreshed look for the next chapter in my life. I was in a previous marriage, I wasn't happy, and I started to gain weight. I knew that this heavy person just wasn't me. I started to regain control of my life. I lost 125 pounds, and I've kept it off. And I recently got engaged to my fiance, Scott. I'm really starting to see the signs of aging. I see the wrinkles around my lips, my eyes, on my forehead. I really want something to give my face a pick-me-up. When it comes to putting on makeup, I'm a no-fuss kind of girl. I couldn't even tell you what kind of beauty products I use. I just throw everything in my purse. I'm also starting a new career as a real estate agent. I want to look fabulous for my clients. When they see me, I want them to look at the cracks in the foundation. I don't want them to look at the cracks in my face.
Well, sometimes you just need to hit the refresh button to get your life on track. So I sent Paula to number 7 beauty expert, Dr. Jessica Wu, for some advice.
I'm so excited for this big wedding day. I want to look like $1 million.
I understand that one of your concerns is some wrinkles, and sun damage is a big cause of wrinkles. So how often do you use your sunscreen?
You know, not very often, to be honest. I leave it on my boat. It's probably been there for 5 years.
My suggestion is to check your sunscreens for expiration dates and start fresh with new products that are really going to give you the best bang for your buck. I often ask my patients to bring in their makeup and brushes.
I've got them right here.
Got some brushes, and you've got some sponges. Now tell me where you usually keep these.
You know, I usually keep them right here in my bag. Is that a bad thing?
Brushes can pick up germs and bacteria, and it's going to end up on your skin, leading to breakouts and possibly infections. So be sure to wash these at least once a week in warm, soapy water. And zip up those brushes in a nice, clean makeup bag. So tell me about your skincare routine.
I really don't have much of a routine. In fact, I rarely wash my makeup off at night.
You just need to wash your face and then add what I like to call a game changer. This new product comes from the top skincare brand in the UK called Number 7. It's Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced Serum. It's clinically proven to reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles in just 4 weeks. In fact, I know this serum works because it's the best-selling anti-aging serum in the UK. The best part is that it's now available in the US. You can find this at Target for less than $30. As an early wedding gift, Paula, Number 7 is giving you a year's supply.
I can't thank you guys enough.
I hope that my advice will help you look and feel new and refreshed as you get ready for your walk down the aisle.
Okay. Welcome, Number 7 beauty expert and superstar dermatologist, Dr. Jessica Wu. Welcome. Now, did I hear you right that you actually can get an infection from these brushes?
You absolutely can. In fact, studies have shown that bacteria, including staph, strep, and even E. coli, which lives in the bathroom, can end up on your makeup brushes, which means if you've got a small pimple or cut or scratch on your face and you use those contaminated brushes, guess what? You're going to get a skin infection, or even worse, it may even end up in your bloodstream and make you really sick. So bottom line, ladies, please keep your makeup tools clean.
Well, you gave Paula some great advice about refreshing her skincare habits. It seems like consistency is like really the key, though, right?
Yes, it really is. It's definitely the key because as with many things in life, you've really got to stick with it to see results. And that's why I love the idea of Paula adding a serum to her everyday routine. And Number 7 Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced Serum is really going to give her quick results that will continue to get even better over time.
So, Paula, you have a new skincare regime then, right? So you're actually going to do this?
Yes. I'm so excited and so ready to start this.
But you're also concerned about a blended family, true?
Yeah.
How many kids are involved?
3 teenagers.
Yeah. And I can tell you, the number one mistake that people make when they're blending a family is trying to discipline the other's children. Because let me tell you, I don't care how much his kids like you or your kids like him, you're not their mother, you're not their father. You just simply can't cross-discipline each other's kids.
Okay.
I mean, that'll keep you out of trouble. And look, I mean, all of this should help you refresh your new life and upcoming marriage. So, you think you're ready for all of this?
I am so ready. I'm ready for a new beginning and to start all refreshed again. Yeah. And you're going to be using your number 7, so, I mean, she's got good advice and good stuff, right?
Yes, she does. She's ready for her new life.
All right. We want everyone to feel fresh and renewed, so the whole audience is going home with number 7 serum today. All right? Thanks to Jessica Wu and the folks at number 7. And, of course, Paula, congratulations on your engagement and good luck with your marriage.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. All right, thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Go on, everybody. See you guys.
Following program contains sexual content. Viewer discretion advised. Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, how could this mother...
Did you beat this child when you were angry?
I probably beat them all on occasion.
Allow her own children...
Did you get upset and burn their Christmas presents?
Yes, I did.
...to be alone with their grandfather.
She knew he was molesting us. She said she loved her dad so much she was willing to give him whatever he wanted. He was so weak. I didn't think he had the strength. I could be wrong. He was good at what he did.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. You know, it was just a few months ago that we aired a show about a mother who left her daughter in the care of a man that she once had accused of molestation. She had accused him of it, said she believed it, but yet left her child in his care. Take a quick look. She reports to you that her father is molesting her, and you continue to deliver her into his hands for 4 months.
I didn't want to believe he would do such a thing to his daughter.
You are the first mother in 45 years that has ever said, my daughter is being molested by a man, and I'm going to deliver her into his hands for 4 more months, knowing what he is doing to her. My first guest today, Angel, says she watched this show from her couch at home. And when she heard me tell the guests those words, she thought, well, you never met my mother. By the way, the father in that show, Dan, took a polygraph test to show that he did not molest his daughter. The results were non-deceptive. He passed that polygraph. But as for Angel, she still claims her mother, Catherine, is evil. Why? She says Catherine left her in the care of a man who allegedly molested Catherine during her own childhood. So who is this man? Angel's grandfather.
Because of my mother, I have scars from the past that I am still trying to overcome. I spent my childhood in fear. When I was around the age of 4, my mother allowed our grandfather to molest me. At the time, my grandfather was dying of cancer. He was bedridden, and my mother allowed him to move in with us. Whenever my mother would leave the house, our grandfather would make us drop our panties and then touch us inappropriately. I believe my mother put us in harm's way, knowing that my grandfather was going to do those things to us because he molested her as well. When I was 18, I confronted my mom about my grandfather molesting me, and she told me that she loved our grandfather so much she was willing to give him whatever he wanted. My mother is evil for not preventing it. She never stepped in to protect us. Because most of my siblings want me to just let this all go, I've had to block them all from my phone, and I had to walk away. Now I only talk to one sibling, which is Kelly. I have a very hard time being around my mom because of the past. My mother has never apologized to me. I believe my mom does hate me.
Okay, Angel, I am very sorry that this is the topic we're talking about. I'm sorry that you've had to deal with this and are having to deal with it. What you're saying here is that your mother was molested by her father, your grandfather. Mm-hmm. So you're saying, so therefore she knew what his tendencies were, what his perversion was.
Yes.
Okay. You said you had 6 sisters and 1 brother.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, 5 sisters. I'm the 6th.
Okay, so there were 6 girls,
6
1
girls,
boy.
1 boy.
All right. So you said that she knowingly offered you up to this man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That she would have you lined up.
Our grandfather had us lined up. She would just leave the house knowing what he was going to do, and he would have us line up.
And she knew this?
She knew he was going to molest us.
And when you say lined up, what do you mean?
Well, he was bedridden, so we either had to line up alongside the bed or alongside the couch.
And how old are we talking about here?
I can only remember between the ages of 2 and 7. I don't know. I know. That's all I can remember. I don't know how long it went on for. I just remember lining up, and I don't remember the exact age.
He would put his hands on you inappropriately.
Oh, yeah.
Pull your panties down, touch you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And she knew this?
Well, she knew he was molesting us.
And how do you know she knew?
Yeah, well, the same thing happened with her. And then again, when I was 18, I confronted her on it.
What did you say to her at 18? What were the words you said to her?
First, I asked her if it really happened, because I blocked it out for so many years, and she said, yes, it did happen. And I asked her why, and she said because she loved her dad so much, she was willing to give him whatever he wanted.
So she didn't deny it?
No.
She said, yes, I did that. I was willing to let him do this to my children.
Yeah. I know, a lot of people find that hard to believe.
And what did you say in response to that?
I was just relieved that she answered honestly.
This is not the only resentment, baggage, issues that you harbor with your mother.
Correct.
I mean, that's enough, but
that's the easy one.
Right, there are others.
Uh-huh.
I actually made a list of the major things that you talked about. Number 1 was that she allowed your grandfather to molest you over a 5-year period between 2 and 7.
Yeah, I don't know how long the period was for,
but it was
yes.
in that
time frame.
Somewhere between 2 and 7 years of age. That there were regular beatings.
Oh, yes.
That she left you and your siblings alone for 2 weeks with no adult supervision.
Correct.
She burned...
Oh, our Christmas presents.
Your Christmas presents.
Uh-huh.
Well, tell me about this.
I guess we weren't grateful enough or something, and she snapped and took all of our gifts and out to the garbage dump and burned them all.
You say a horse had gotten out, and...
It was missing all winter. We couldn't find him. Come springtime, my mother was walking with her best friend, and I was with them, and come across our dead pony stuck between 2 trees. And she didn't want it there, so she told me to go down there and rip it apart and let it float down the river.
It was wedged between 2 trees?
Mm-hmm.
And you were how old?
13.
And she told you to go down and rip the horse apart?
Yes.
Just with your hands?
So it can float downstream, yes.
You say there were no new clothes. She would buy the other children clothes, but not you.
There was a weekend where she went to Philadelphia to be with her best friend, and she took my other sibling with her, and she had me stay home and watch everyone else. It was fun. I did it anyway. So when she comes back home after being gone for 3 days, she calls me from downstairs, and she had these 3 30-gallon bags full of brand new clothes. And I'm thinking, oh, great, you know, she got me some clothes. And she made me sit there while she handed out every article, piece of clothing to all my siblings. And then when she got done, she looked at me and said, none for you.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I'm here.
Well, you have no theory as to why she would single you out?
I don't know. That honestly, I was very confrontational. I wouldn't let her meet the kids. Oh, and plus, my dad did name me after his girlfriend.
Angel's mother, Catherine, has been listening backstage. Now, while she admits her father molested her during her childhood, she never thought that he had molested her own children. We're going to talk to her and see what she has to say about that when we come back.
Angel doesn't have a clue what a horrible childhood consists of. I didn't see my father touch Angel. He was hooked up to an IV. I didn't think the man had the strength to do these things anymore.
And later, did you beat this child when you were angry?
I probably beat them all.
Did you get upset and burn their Christmas presents?
Yes, I did.
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I can't go to jail, Bob!
Inside the OJ series.
It is brilliant, informative.
It sends a message that murder is entertainment.
This is not drama. There are 2 people who were brutally taken from us.
The controversy.
It's factual.
It's not 100% factual.
Travolta, Schwimmer, Cuba Gooding. Shame on you guys. You should have called the family.
A Dr. Phil exclusive.
There are revelations.
Who the hell signs a suicide note with a happy family?
It's a shocking document.
With the families.
I'm like seething. I mean, it's disgusting. Dr. Phil, when I saw that, that is just the epitome of disrespect.
And the people who were there.
You've seen the first episode of this miniseries.
There are some mistakes, and I thought to myself, how many more will there be in the other 9 episodes?
This was our life.
This was a major event in history.
Yes, it only happened because my brother was stabbed to death and Nicole was nearly decapitated.
Have you had any contact with OJ?
Oh, yeah.
Have you forgiven him?
That's Monday.
My mother is abusive, damaged, and hateful. She beat me and my siblings regularly. She would kick, punch, pull her hair. One time in the bathtub, my mother would hold my head under the water until I couldn't take it any longer. After the bath, she sent us to school. My mother was always yelling at me or beating me.
Well, Angel says her mother, Catherine, is abusive, hateful, and allowed her to be molested between the ages of 2 and 7 by Catherine's father. But Catherine says she allowed her dying father to live with them for only a few days, not years, as Angel alleges. Catherine also claims her daughter Angel exaggerates about alleged abuse experienced during her childhood.
Angel thinks she had such a horrible childhood. Angel doesn't have a clue on what a horrible childhood consists of. Angel and I were not close when she was growing up. Angel was a bad kid. I think I did pretty good with what I had to work with. Angel had a wonderful childhood as far as I'm concerned compared to what I've known. My father molested me, broke my heart. When Angel was 3 years old, my father was bedridden and dying of cancer. I never thought there would be a problem. So I brought him home. One time I went to borrow sugar next door. When I returned, I saw my father pull his hand out from underneath one of my child's underwear. I didn't see my father touch Angel. He was hooked up to an IV. I didn't think the man had the strength to do these things anymore.
I don't know why she would even let him around us.
I'm not even sure if Angel was molested by my father because she was only 4 years old. For a long time now, Angel's tried to make me her whipping post. Angel exaggerates her childhood to the point where it's extreme. Angel seems to think that I should be held accountable for the bad decisions that she's made in her life. Angel and I have been going at it for years. I'm tired of this battle. She needs to stop.
Well, Angel says she hasn't seen or spoken to her mother in 4 years until right now. So if you would, please, Catherine, come on out. Catherine, Catherine, Dr. Phil. Appreciate you. Step forward right here. You've not seen your daughter in 4 years.
Correct.
And you've not so much as looked at her until just now.
Right.
I have to say, that is really an odd dynamic.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea that this was how she thought, felt, the extremes of it. Because there's a lot of exaggeration.
Well, you know, one of my ways of trying to resolve disputes is to start by seeing what it is we can agree on.
Okay. Okay.
What's not exaggerated, what's not denied, what's not in dispute. First off, she says that you allowed your father, her grandfather, to molest her at some point. She's not saying it went on for 5 years. She's saying sometime between the ages of 2 and 7 that you allowed her to be molested by...
No, it's not true. I didn't allow that. I never... As God's my witness, I didn't think he would do that.
Did he?
Yeah, I caught him.
Pardon me?
I caught him.
You caught him. So you don't dispute that molestation by your father,
on one
her
occasion.
grandfather. You saw it once.
I saw it once.
Do you believe that that's the only time it ever happened? That you caught him the one time it happened?
I didn't leave him alone with him. So that one time, I only ran next door.
So you actually believe that you caught him 100% of the time that he molested your children?
No, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. He was good at what he did.
You were victimized by this man, right?
Yes.
And I'm very sorry for that. I'm very sorry that you were victimized by him. I'm not glossing over that at all. Right. I hate that for you. I hate that for you. I have 2 victims here. And it's as tragic for you as it is for her. But I mean, let's be honest here. You didn't think he was capable of doing it, so therefore you weren't vigilant. Because you didn't think he was capable.
Yeah, so yeah, I was wrong with that. He was so weak. He had a colostomy bag. He had a urine bag. He was all wired up. Yeah. Didn't think he had the strength.
Yeah. I'm not trying to assign blame. I'm just trying to analyze the situation. Based on the fact that you didn't believe he was capable of it, you will agree that you weren't vigilant.
Yep.
So we can agree that on at least one occasion that you know that he molested at least some of your children.
Yes. Yes.
And very well may have been Angel. You say you question that. It doesn't stand to reason that he would have skipped her.
Right. I just assumed. Maybe I didn't want to believe it. I don't know.
Did you force her to tear a dead horse apart with her hands?
Yeah, I really knew the horse was going to come apart. When she went to pull the pony's leg, it came off.
And later, do you seriously know who her father is?
I'm 99.9% sure.
This February.
The woman accused of pushing her husband to his death.
I'm a horrible person who could do that.
The stakes are higher.
Your daughter's saying there was a struggle. He stumbled and fell backwards. Did you push him out that window?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Emotions run deeper.
You're very critical of the woman that has adopted your baby.
She looks like a stripper.
Olivia's been stalking me. Bring the restraining order. I'll show you where you blatantly lied in it. Bring it.
You're in her face saying you lie, you lie, you lie.
She's a saint. We're the bad people. Is that what you're telling me?
Tempers get hotter.
Our neighbors make our life a living hell.
They set a mortar shell under the swing set and tried to blow it up.
That is not true. We are being harassed.
Put her on the lie detector test.
And I want you to do one, too, because the machine is going to blow up.
And we're just getting started.
I had a traumatized 3-year-old girl saying, my daddy hurt me.
Where is he going to hurt you at?
A child does not say those things unless she was coached.
You cannot coach a 3-year-old. Ask anyone.
That is coaching.
I came here to help my daughter, and you turned this into a giant circus.
I'm done. Here's the thing. I can't change what happened.
Neither can I.
But what I can do is try to heal where we are now. What can we agree on? Regular beatings.
No. I was more of a screamer, and I'll be honest, I was a coffee mug thrower. I wasn't like Angel says.
There's lots of times where you'd have to hide the kids in the pantry, and then one of us would have to step out. And usually it was me, because everyone else was too chicken.
Yeah, it's true.
And then
Angel was always the brave one. No, I didn't give her a beating.
Did you take it out on her? Look, you can't change what you don't acknowledge, and there is nothing worse to someone that has been victimized in this way than for those that were involved to invalidate them by saying, I will not even acknowledge what happened to you. That's a whole new transgression. That's a whole new abuse to do that. If you're saying, I did not hit you, I did not kick you, I did not slap you, I did not pull your hair, that just never happened, then, I mean, that's just like abusing her all again today. I don't want you to say you did it if you didn't, but if you did, I mean, what the hell? This is a time to just get it all out on the table.
I think my verbal abuse was worse than my physical abuse.
I'm not asking you to grade them. I'm just asking you to inventory.
Okay. And Mom, I'm not here to nail you to the wall or cross. I just want healing. For all of us, I just want it all out. And
so do I, baby.
And I just want to be done.
Did you beat this child when you were angry?
I probably beat them all on occasions.
Okay.
When the way I was raised, we were beat. Society raised me. I was beat. That's all I knew. I taught what I knew.
Well, thank you for that candor. I thank you for that candor. So there were times in anger and tantrum where you snapped and you did beat the children,
I did,
including, and you said she's the one that stepped out, so she caught the brunt of it, probably more often than the others.
Yeah, probably.
So there were times you did beat her.
Probably, yeah.
Well, you either did or you didn't.
There were more times, yeah.
I didn't say more or less. You either beat her or you didn't.
Yes.
Okay. Did you leave the siblings alone for 2 weeks without adult supervision?
No.
She was supposed to babysit us, and
I was gone for a week.
All right, it was a week then. But she didn't babysit us. She left.
I wasn't aware of that, Angel, until I got home. I left them with a babysitter.
Who bailed on you?
Who bailed on me, yeah.
But they were left unsupervised?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Not by me, by the babysitter.
Did you get upset and burn their Christmas presents?
Yes, I did. That was in the summertime. Yes, I did.
Did you force her to tear a dead horse apart with her hands?
Yeah, I really knew the horse was going to come apart. No, we went down, the horse was missing. It was a pony. It was a very old pony, Flicka. We were looking all over for the pony. We went down to the creek, and the pony was wedged between, they weren't trees, but they were pieces, large pieces of branch that had fallen down. And it was blocking, that's how I found out, it was blocking the flow of water.
That's right.
And the neighbors, the farmer down below wanted to know why the runoff wasn't coming. And we found Flicka in the creek, and I had asked a couple of the girls to try to de-wedge the pony, you know what I mean? Let's get the... And I didn't know it, for God's sake. If I'd have known that, I would have... When she went to pull the pony's leg, it came off. Okay? Who's going to
there. You were
think
there
that's going to happen?
You weren't there.
I was there.
As it turned out, she did pull the horse apart.
She pulled the horse loose, and then it went down.
Piece by piece off.
The leg came off.
I really did.
The leg came off.
Okay.
No.
Because when we talked to you earlier, you said you had Animal Services come do that, but in fact, it was her.
No, Animal Services came when they used to have to come and... We lived on a farmette out there, and there was...
Well, I know, but that's what
right,
you told us when we asked you about it the first time.
I don't recall that.
Well, I do. Did you buy all the kids new clothes, but not her?
Yeah, I did that one summer.
Okay.
Angel was told they had all the girls had jobs, teenagers, okay, earning a little bit of a living. You got to learn to work. Angel didn't want to work and earn money. Angel she just didn't want to work. She was Angel. She was sort of like the movie star of the house. Excuse me for saying that, but that's just, you know, this can be backed up by siblings and all that.
I did the dog grooming, and then I did all the babysitting.
Right. This was disciplinary.
Yes, there was a reason for it. Yes, I did.
Kelly, one of Catherine's other daughters, has been listening backstage. She claims that Catherine considers herself to be a great mother, even though she admits she failed her children. We'll talk to Kelly when we come back.
My mom has always been abusive, but I don't think that an apology from my mom is going to be enough for Angel. My mom disregards the bad things that she did to us as kids.
And later, it's Kelly's father.
It's not the guy she thinks it is. I can 100% tell you that.
Angel says her mother, Catherine, is evil for not only verbally and physically abusing her as a child, but also allowing Catherine's father to molest her. Now, she says that's how she feels about what happened, but yet she says, I do want to put that behind me. I do want to build a relationship here. Angel's younger sister, Kelly, says she isn't sure that Angel will get the accountability she's looking for from her mother because Catherine considers herself to be a great mom. Take a look at this.
From as far back as I can remember, my mom has always been abusive. If we didn't clean the house, she would beat us. If we were acting up in the car and my mom got angry, she would threaten to smash the car into a tree if we didn't stop. I know what my mother did was wrong. I know that she's sorry for a lot of it, and I have forgiven her for a lot of it. I don't hate her for it, but I don't think that an apology from my mom is going to be enough for Angel. My mom disregards the bad things that she did to us as kids, and I don't like it.
Kelly, thank you for joining us. When you were growing up in this household, it sounds to me like it was laced with dysfunction at every level. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
And there were a lot of kids and a single mother, and that can make for chaos.
Yeah.
Was it chaotic?
It was very chaotic, yeah.
Was your mother abusive?
Yes.
Was she abusive to you?
Yeah.
Were you molested during this period of time?
No.
Okay, so you escaped that. And do you feel that Angel is stuck in this history? Is this something you want to see her get past? Do you think she has legitimate complaints here? What's your feeling about this?
Yeah, I do think Angel's very stuck. I think that this is touching every area of her life, and there's a lot of healing that hasn't taken place. I think they both deserve that.
I'm very frustrated and angry because that's the one excuse you've always told people is I didn't work, I didn't do a lot of things, and I was a bad kid. I was actually one of the best ones you had. Nobody stepped in with those kids but me. I did a lot of the chores, and if the chores didn't need to be done, I was busy making sure the kids were safe. Where did I fail? And plus, then I did work at the department store. I did work, and you've always used that against me. Like, didn't matter what I did, it was never good enough.
Everyone's getting along fine except you, babe.
No.
Do you remember?
They're pretending it didn't happen.
They're not pretending it didn't happen. They know what happened. I've talked to them about it.
Did you blame it all on them, though? Did you blame it on them?
Getting along.
Okay, I
You're
get it.
blaming everything on me.
No, I'm not. I'm worried about you.
When you say, well, she was being punished, she didn't work, she didn't like to work. Angel was...
You didn't work that summer that we're talking about. That summer
you
with the
were going
clothes I
through
bought.
a divorce, and you were busy partying all the time. Somebody had to be home with the kids.
You're talking about one summer,
That's
Angel.
the summer we're talking about. That's the summer you screwed me. That's the summer where you made me sit there and hit one. That's the summer I stepped up.
So
and then you screwed me.
I kept asking you, Angel, were you going to work and babies? You didn't want to.
I'm watching the kids. Somebody had to be
Angel,
there.
I didn't work.
Mom, you're unfunctional. I'm not leaving my kid.
I'm going to be honest with you, Phil. Just like in my tapes, I had no business having children from where I came from. But I had them, and I did the best I could do with what I had to work with.
Well,
My goal was to make them strong and make them functional to be able to survive in that world. And I've done that pretty good with 5 out of 6 out of 7.
Who's the seventh?
I have 7 children.
You said 6 out of 7 are okay, and the 7th.
This nut.
The one right here, Dr. Phil.
She's the one that's having all these problems that I'm hearing.
Well, one of the things you said was interesting. You said, in a perfect world, I want Dr. Phil to fix my Angel. I know Daddy Warbucks has a lot of resources, and he's intelligent, so he will know what to do.
Well, I have been so impressed. I've never seen money spent the way you spend money. So, yeah, you're Daddy Warbucks. In my mind, where I came from.
You got a new nickname.
Not to be disrespectful.
Oh, no.
Did you take that as disrespectful? No. That's not how that was meant.
No.
I wish I had a Daddy Warbucks.
I'm very thick-skinned. I'm very thick-skinned. Who's Kelly's father?
I don't know.
She don't.
Well, we're going to talk about that because it's a big question Kelly has, and it's a big question that she has been tormented by her entire life. And she says it's a secret her mother, Catherine, refuses to reveal. We'll be right back.
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phil, inside the OJ series.
Have you had any contact with OJ?
Oh, yeah.
A Dr. Phil exclusive.
There are revelations.
It's shocking.
It's disgusting.
All new Dr. Phil. That's Monday.
My mom was married 3 times. In between her first and second marriage, she had a relationship with 2 different men. My mother named one of those men as my biological father. I didn't learn that I had a different father until I was 10. My mom told me that she took my biological father for paternity, and he paid the doctors to have the test say that we were negative for a match. I think my mom believes that that is the truth. I have trouble believing. I have a number of family members who continue to come to me over the years telling me it's not him, it was this other guy. You look like this other guy. I've had that conversation with my mom, and if she gets upset, I just want to get to the bottom of it. I want to know who my father is. I want to know where I come from. I just want my mom to tell me the truth about who he is.
Well, 2 of Catherine's children are here today, each with different issues with their mother. Angel accuses Catherine of allowing her grandfather to molest her. Kelly says Catherine refuses to reveal who her father really is. Now, I've got one question here before I talk about this paternity issue. Do you recall Angel coming to you when she was 18?
No, I don't recall that. I'm sorry, but no.
Do you recall saying that you loved him enough that...
No, I never said that. Your imagination has a way of running a little bit too far down the road, baby girl. I never said that.
What you told us is you said she might have, and I don't remember it. I'm not calling her a liar, but I can't remember her bringing it up. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm. I did love my father, but I didn't. You took that in an entirely wrong context. I didn't mean I loved him to give him permission to hurt my babies. I didn't mean that I loved him. I did. I idolized my father. He was my hero before I realized what was going on.
Did you call the police?
I called the VA hospital and told them to come get him out of my home immediately, and they did. He's already been to a court prior to that. There is no cure for that disease.
Well, Angel says that a family friend raped her. He was
raped you?
No, molested me.
Well, let's just call it whatever you want.
Uh-huh. Big difference between rape
and you said that she actually seduced him.
She didn't seduce him. Angel was a very flirtatious child.
You told us, and I quote, she wanted him. No. I think she was like 16 when that happened.
I didn't tell you that.
Pardon me?
I didn't tell you that.
That is what you said.
And I'm not flirtatious. Sorry.
Do you seriously know, without the shadow of a doubt, who her father is?
Who, Kelly?
Yes.
I'm 99.9% sure. It's not the guy she thinks it is. I can 100% tell you that. I met this other guy after I was already 2 months pregnant for Kelly. And that's why, and I dated him. And that's
I don't necessarily think it's one or the other. It's just, and it's not that I don't believe my mom. I believe that she believes what she's telling me is the truth, but it's just really difficult to believe that somebody has that kind of pull to
pay off the doctors. I find that very hard to believe.
So do I.
You would like to know.
I would.
Would you like some help in trying to track these candidates down and see if we can get some information for you?
I would like that a lot.
Because would be my pleasure to do that.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see if we can get you some answers, not opinions. We'll see if we can get you some answers to that if they will do so. You don't want anything from you, just want answers.
No, just answers.
Yeah. So, where do you go from here? What do you want?
Everything's still getting blamed on me, and I'm tired of...
Right, I take it back, Angel.
You don't have to, it's just, everything's...
I'm very sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I love you, believe it or not.
I love you too, but it just still seems like everything that's ever bad that's happened to me is somehow always been my fault. It's always been my fault.
You certainly don't want to continue feeling the way you are feeling, but yet this history can be very, very confining. But there are some things to do. I'm going to talk about that when we come back. Frankly, there's so much wrong here. We're talking about everything that you can possibly imagine in terms of the development of a child across time. And I'm saying that to you in your development as a child, when you were growing up, and the same thing with you as a development child. And here's the thing about legacy. The legacies get passed from generation to generation. And that can be a good thing if you're talking about healthy aspects of a family. But if you're talking about toxic things like molestation and abuse and abandonment and neglect and bitterness and anger and all of those things, you don't want those things to be passed from generation to generation. But that's what's happened here. And you have to make a decision that you are going to stop this at this point. And let me just tell you, every relationship you lose is not a loss.
Oh, I know.
You cannot possibly be proud of many of the things that transpired in your role as a mother.
No, heck no.
You can't be proud of your temper. You can't be proud of the things that you made. You say, look, I never had a role model. Nobody ever taught me what to do. And I heard you say early on, she thinks she had it tough. She should have looked at my childhood. That doesn't even qualify as molestation. You ought to look at what happened to me. I mean, that's molestation that's junior varsity molestation compared to what I was. You're comparing it like, you know, that doesn't make her pain, her hurt, impact on her any less. And I don't, that doesn't mean because yours was a long, long, long time ago that makes the distortion that it's created in your life any better. It doesn't. That's never been healed in you. And so it's created this terrible value system in you where things that you're treating as okay are not okay. Decisions you make are coming from a very distorted point of view. You have made some serious mistakes as a mother, and you've acknowledged some of those things today, and I think you have to agree. She has acknowledged some things today. That's good. But look, there comes a point where you have to give yourself what you wish you could get from somebody else.
Okay.
You know, there comes a point where you wish You had a mother and father that were healthy, vibrant, and had the capacity to give you the messages that you need to heal, the messages that you need to be validated, the messages that you need to be okay. And your mother never got those messages.
Right.
And it is really hard to give away what you don't have. Show without you, our studio audience.
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Because we have a lot of fun here, don't we?
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445.
You have to get to the point where you say, I choose to be better than I was yesterday. And a big part of that is to choose to forgive. And forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. And forgiving doesn't mean that what happened was okay. What it means is you say, I forgive, which is a choice, not a feeling. I forgive because I refuse to be locked in a bond of hatred, bitterness, resentment for the rest of my life with these people.
Okay.
And that's what will happen. That's what will happen. And you get locked in there, and when I say locked in there, give me your hands. I mean, you are locked in just that way. And it doesn't matter. You can try to get away. You can try to look aside. You can try to move away. But you're not. You're locked in right there.
Yeah, I know. I feel it.
And you get there, and you can't move. You can't. And it doesn't matter if you have children, you have a husband, you have a career, you have a future. Every time you try to get by, they're right there until you go, you know what? No, thank you. That's what you have to decide to do. And when you have been through what you have been through, when you have been molested, there's very specialized care for helping to heal those wounds. I want to arrange for you to have that kind of help. I want to arrange for you to have that kind of help. Because you may think, oh, yeah, I'm past all. No, you're not. You got hurt early on, and you've carried that burden for a long, long time. And it's distorted the way you've impacted those around you and the way you feel about who you are. And you are worthy of somebody caring for you instead of judging you. And I want to try to help you instead of judge you. Okay? And you're worth the trouble. I'm not here to throw you under the bus.
Okay.
And maybe at some point, in strength, you can begin with boundaries to build a relationship. And it may start with lunch and rules. We just talk about the here and now. And then maybe in time we can choose a topic and we can talk about something from the past. And if that goes well, then maybe another time we can talk about something else. But not until you have the strength to know that you're okay from the inside out. Will you take that help?
Yes.
Will you take that help? All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. We will see you next time. We're going to work on this. We're going to work on this. We're going to find out. Okay? All right, good.
Chịu rồi, người ta sắp lấy vợ rồi Chính anh sắp đi lấy vợ nơi rồi chưa chờ. Hả? Sắp cuối năm. Lỡ rồi biết sao giờ. Lỡ đây. Bác sĩ đó. Kỳ quá. Thì mini với file được có tập này. Đúng rồi, anh Đức vừa lấy xong. Bao nhiêu phút đấy? 15. làm tất cả video theo em tụi mình lấy sao được. Ha ha ha. Lắm đưa đâu phải muốn quay là được đâu. Ý sao mày không chết nữa đi, tao được 1 kill. Ôi thằng nào chạy được chạy nha.
Ăn thử đặc sản 63 tỉnh thành Việt Nam. Sài Gòn, Đóng, Sửa, Trạm Chân, Lỡ Lô cùng chạy nè.
1 kill ngọt sớt. Vô rồi. Mỗi lần hồi sinh ăn 1 kill, 10 lần hồi sinh ăn 10 kill, trò chơi kết thúc. Ôi, hồi sinh tất nữa là lại thêm 10 kill. Ok nha.
Tới trạm vật phẩm nào.
Anh Đức có nấu cơm hay gì đâu mà anh bảo nhịn. Con em chả ăn gì. Anh Đức vừa mới ăn cơm lúc nãy xong rồi còn nấu ăn. Cái đâu này của anh Đức xử lý sao? Mì à? Mì chơi. Bảo anh ơi, anh về đi. Ôi, từ bình tĩnh. Chơi gì mà chơi hai khẩu súng sạc luôn hay hả? Cái bịp. Giết luôn đi. Mình giết luôn.
Địa điểm đã đánh dấu.
Quá.
Dạ, vào bo đi.
Được rồi, dừng lại. Isu. Tốt rồi. Hồi máu kìa, đúng rồi. Dám nè. Thằng này nó định lấy top 1 bằng cách này luôn hả?
Địa điểm đã đánh dấu.
Ủa thằng này làm trò gì vậy? Mày không về mày vẫn phải về chứ. Thằng này nó đang sở trò gì ngoài đây? Sao? Biết cái gì mới được chết trời. Ghê mày. Đói quá. Người ta gọi mì không ăn.
Sao đi ăn canh mì nhanh nhá.
Nó cũng ghê tiền mất. Nó là gì anh nướng à? Thế cũng được, nướng thì còn được. Nhưng mà bao giờ phải tinh tinh đã. tinh cái là ok. Hôm nay mới có thứ 6 mà thứ 7 cũng hơn. Nên là sáng mai em đi đang phải đi rước nữa đâu. Tận 24 mới chắc rồi. Tôi được tiếp vào cái mèo bây giờ được thì mèo là kiểu lấy tiền refund lại luôn. Em thấy nó cứ cộng của tài khoản em cứ cộng 526 đồng không, cái đấy là tiền hoàn mấy đồng, mấy trăm đồng đấy là tiền hoàn lại. Nghĩa là mình biết trong kênh rồi, xong rồi cái kênh này nó bị lỗi hay là cái gì mình không biết được không,
là mình được ít đô luôn ạ.
chính xác. Nhưng mà có phải tài khoản nào bán được đâu, bán cao nhất là được 21 triệu hay 20 mấy triệu này, 13 tốt rồi.
Nhưng mà kiểu bán nhiều người bán mấy triệu gì quá YouTube mà phải
fake IP, fake địa chỉ mấy các thứ rồi này, thế mới cần nuôi ấy, nuôi mèo này. Muốn gì?
nghe nói rằng chỉ cần nhảy xuống nước thì có thể giữ ẩm né được bạn.
Tốt rồi. Tối nay đi ăn mày được rồi. Không mất tiền đủ đi đâu. Đấy bảo mình lên nghe không qua được cả một cái chặn mát đúng rồi. Đi lên tao ở tay tao đau, tao vẫn phải bê nồi lên để tao rửa. Mua hết, mua tớ cho anh sửa. Trời, bao việc. Ui da, làm qua 3 người ăn nhiều no. Có ăn được đâu, qua no biết có đi đâu xuống được. Ở đây để làm gì đâu.
Qua luôn địa chính quả tiếp tục.
Không ai động. Cũng đáng thật. Cái gì đó. Qua ăn đây. Trứng ăn bây giờ ngon lắm. Bỏ qua một quán nữa. Qua đồ ăn không đâu. Nên được mấy cái đồ ăn hợp. Bán lô ba. Yeah. Hình như có địch.
Double kill.
Vô nồi. Double kill. Ba bên này có rồi. Rồi chịu thôi, 1 3 này. Chết rồi, không ngồi xin kia chúng chửi.
Tôi đang chơi cái này rất là hay, cứ kiểu là trang bị đầy đủ xong ra chết.
Thế đúng nhặt đồ không bắn nhau. Người ta nhặt chết cho đồng đội, nó nhặt ké đó. Nhặt hay đồng đội. Ok nha. Chủ. Hay là do bình thường là em chụp luôn khi em kháng nhỉ? Hay là bình thường là em chụp phát xong em đang kháng luôn?
Đúng rồi, đúng nhau.
Nó giống video kháng vì quần áo cũng giống luôn.
Quay xong phát chụp luôn. Luôn.
Rồi xong luôn mà.
Đúng kênh đó rồi.
Đúng cùng màu đấy video kháng. Chụp cam thường luôn như chứ trời. Logo và hình trong video, chắc là trong video là wow, đồng đội chết hết luôn mà. Tốt rồi. Thì thôi, chúng mày đứng đây xem tao bắn được rồi. Không đợi, không đủ kiên nhẫn thì thôi. Chiêu ở đây là địch nhanh nha. Theo kinh nghiệm của tôi là sẽ có địch chạy qua. Không nấu cơm đâu anh. Đặt đi anh. Mình chưa biết ăn gì. Mới có 5 giờ.
Tôi bát luôn.
Đâu đâu trong mặt không mất.
Mua bài về cho tôi đang xếp cái này nhá, làm content.
Rồi.
Có thể